From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is Roz and Mocha.
It's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Roz. Mocha. Roz. Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
That is amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Big announcement on The Bachelor tonight. I know that.
You know what it is?
No.
Oh.
Do I? Do I know what it is? I don't know what it is. Maybe I know what it is.
I think you know. You just don't want to say
Yeah. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. What are you going to do? Tickle it out of me?
it. What'd you say? Take what?
Tickle it out of me.
Oh, tickle.
Yeah. Well, I would never say what are you gonna do, beat it out of me, because who wants that?
Yeah,
Right?
no.
I think that if you're in a position to act, I'd rather be tickled. Out of the room, Maury. Out of the room. Turn right around.
Are you like really ticklish?
Nah, not at all.
Really?
Nah. My feet, right? But my thing is, I love being tickled, and I can't.
But it
Like
depends
hot
on where you
tickled,
like being
or-
tickled.
No, I don't.
Like I don't like my feet being tickled, but my chest, back, and butt.
So here's so I like to have my butt tickled and my feet tickled. But
I think we have to establish a tickle, though, right? Because
yeah.
there's tickle for the
Yes.
purpose of making somebody
Yes.
laugh, but then there's
Right.
also like a light tickle for comfort.
I'm not that tickle. I'm not that you can tickle and make me laugh anywhere on my body. It doesn't exist, right? I don't have that thing. No, and it's weird because my chest, right? It's weird. I don't know if I've ever told this story before. So years ago, when I was in my 20s, both my lungs collapsed.
Yeah.
Right. And they had to do all sorts of surgery. And so I had all these holes in the sides of my chests, right? Like on either side of my chest where they put the tubes in and everything else. And one of the lasting effects of having that surgery and being in the hospital for as long as I was on my chest. So from my abs up to my collarbone and from armpit to armpit, I have little to no feeling on my chest.
You've said this.
Right? And so
Yeah?
if you tickle me, this is what it feels. The only way I can describe it, okay? So, and I hate having my chest touched. I hate having my chest touched.
Sensitive, or you just can't feel?
No, it feels like this. Imagine if somebody is tickling you, okay? But before they tickle you, they put a piece of paper over you, and then they tickle you over top of the piece of paper. That's what it feels like.
Dude.
That's what it feels like. It's not a good feeling at all. Like it's very uncomfortable, right?
well, it's kind of
so
like-
it's not good.
It's distant touch.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really, really weird. Because like part of my body knows that I should be reacting to it, but I can't actually feel it. So I get anxious when if Catherine's
Have
like
you ever
rubbing her
thought
hand
of
on my
getting
chest.
corrective surgery?
So no, I don't even know if there is such a thing because I think it's just nerve damage, right?
Like, what are you going to tell a doctor? I
Yeah.
don't feel tickles. Can you fix my chest?
Yeah, like I think that there's a lot of people ahead of me. Like that is elective of elective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That is so
I need you to. I can't feel tickles. Can you fix it? Right? Like to me, that is like that. Like I don't know. but also my nipples are included in that, right?
Yeah.
Like I
Oh,
don't.
no, there's no way. Nipples are very
No,
feeling.
I don't have. I have hardly any feeling in my nipples. They're like they're dead nipples, right?
Really?
It's yeah,
Aw,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. They don't feel anything. But my feet, if you tickle my feet, I get such great enjoyment out of it, right? Like such great enjoyment. And I've said this many times, and I've even had people respond during COVID. This poor woman responded because you know me. I said I don't want to go for a massage anymore. What I'd like to do, and I can't believe some young budding entrepreneur didn't, try this as a startup. But I would like a massage parlor to open up, legitimate, where you can like write it off and stuff. Where instead of massage, because I find that massage hurts me, I would just like to go in and get tickled because to me that would be the most relaxing.
You had a woman DMing
Yeah,
you?
she was a massage therapist in I think Hamilton or something like that.
Yeah.
And she couldn't go to work, and she's like, maybe I will, start this when everything comes back because there's just no work right now. She's like, maybe I'll have to put that on the menu to get somebody like you to come in and spend a couple bucks at the spa.
Foot tickles.
Yeah,
I'm
just back
very
and
good
head.
at doing tickles.
I do not. I don't doubt that.
I'm not
Maury.
offering,
but
I'm telling.
I'll tell you why I don't believe that you're that good at back tickles, Maury, because you're a very selfish person. So I would think that the only reason why you're tickling me is because as soon as you're finished, you're going to jump in front of me and pull your shirt up and go, my turn.
Oh my God, that's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not good. That's not good.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Let me read you this real quick. Do you have that thing in you as a dad where you can't wait to embarrass your son publicly?
Boy, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not now, because nobody wants to embarrass a 3-year-old.
No.
But, like, do you take notes now of, like, just some of the things that, like, he'll do, and in your head, you're like, God, when you're 16, start bringing girls home.
Oh,
When you're
yeah.
out hanging with your dudes, I'm going to destroy you.
Like sometimes if I'm walking around the house and I'm not wearing a shirt, right?
Yeah.
And if he's not wearing a shirt, I'm like, get over here, a little skin-to-skin action.
Yeah.
It's like, no, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or he just wants to go play with his cars. I'm like, you wait. When you're 18 or you're 19 and you have your friends over, I'm going to walk in the room with no shirt on. I'd be like, Cruz, take off your shirt. Let's do skin-to-skin.
So Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelo, they're always, like, going at each other on social media publicly. And their son just turned 18. But this one here happened back in January, and then I'll get to the latest one.
Okay.
So back in January, Kelly Ripa posted a picture of herself on Instagram wearing a sparkling sweater. And written in sparkles on the sweater was "more glitter, less Twitter." And then Mark comments, "Baby, is that a G or a C?" asking for a friend. Right? And then she and then she writes, "Shush." Okay? So yesterday, yesterday their son Joaquin turned 18. And Mark wrote, "Happy 18th birthday, Joaquin. Kelly, our little guy is all grown up. We love you." And then Kelly wrote, "You know what? Making him was so much fun." and then and then Mark replies to her going, #made in Montreal.
Oh, bonjour.
Right? Like, that is some top level parents.
Oh, no. Imagine the conversations that happen at home, like with their kids, where they're like, Mom, Dad, you guys got to stop.
Guys gotta stop with the sex stuff.
Yeah, like my friends follow
Yeah.
you, their parents follow you.
Everybody follows you. You got to stop with the sex stuff.
I gotta hear about it.
Right? And
You guys put up a post on IG, and then I hear about it from my friends in the group chat. It just goes wild.
And it's only ever sex stuff.
Oh,
It's
these
so,
two.
it's so great.
Yo, they love each other though, huh?
Yeah, they really do. Maury.
I was going to say, I remember the time at my bar mitzvah, my Uncle Michael saved up all the stuff I did, and his whole speech was about how he was changing my diaper and I peed on him.
Oh, jeez.
That's what happens to babies. Huh?
Yeah, that's what happens to babies. I never got those stories. I never had anybody tell me that I peed on them. And I'm kind of thankful for that.
Yeah, because who wants to hear that as
Nobody-
an adult?
nobody does.
Because then what do you do with that information?
No, sorry. Like, because you feel the need to apologize.
Yeah, like, sorry,
Right,
I was
sorry.
a baby.
Yes.
I didn't have any
Yeah,
function.
I had no control,
Like,
right?
whatsoever?
Yeah, but it's somehow funny to adults to retell those stories of
Yeah.
that time you peed on them.
Yeah.
Where if it was anybody else, like even like you wouldn't, like, that story only applies to babies, right?
Oh,
like you wouldn't
completely.
tell that story if you were even 4. Right?
No, not
You
at
know,
all.
like,
Because you don't know. That kid may have like a problem or something, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Would you stay in a space hotel?
Space
Yeah,
hotel.
I'm reading this article. Let me read this to you here. Work is due to start on the world's first space hotel in low Earth orbit in 2025 and could become operational as early as 2027. The space hotel would have restaurants, a spa, movie theaters, and rooms for about 400 people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the concept drawings of it, it looks like a giant Ferris wheel.
Okay.
So it's a huge circle. It's a
Yeah.
giant ring,
And what, it just orbits Earth?
And then yeah, it orbits Earth. The space station will be a large circle and rotate to generate artificial gravity that will be set at a similar level to the gravity found on the surface of the moon. No details or costs on how much it would be to actually spend a night at the space hotel. But they say the costs are getting cheaper to manufacture it because of reusable rockets from SpaceX and future Starship. So they're going to build it in orbit.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Like the Death Star?
Yeah.
Like how they did the Death Star?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So would you?
Yes.
You would. You'd go to space and stay at a hotel?
Absolutely.
You
wouldn't?
Huh? Man,
That'd be
I don't know
amazing.
about that.
Dude, I love everything about space.
I don't know about that, man. And
I would, absolutely.
And the concept drawings that they have for it, of course, they make it look super bougie, right?
Yeah, of
But the
course.
concept drawings they have are like people sitting in a hotel room looking out their giant window at Earth.
Oh, that's lit.
Right?
Of course I would. You wouldn't do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
For like a couple days?
Nah, I don't think I would, to be honest with you.
Like how many
it
days?
It would be just my luck for everything to go wrong. You know,
I would do
don't
like
know.
a 3-night stay.
I don't
in
know.
the space hotel.
I don't. Well, what's the difference between a 3-night? You think that they're going to allow a 3-nighter?
Can you go alone?
Sure. I don't
Yes,
see
why
why
not?
not.
Then I'm in.
Yeah, I don't
You
see
wouldn't
why
share that
not.
experience with your husband? How rude.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, you know what happened is you'd walk there and Matthew would also be there.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, "Oh my god, it's the most awkward thing to ever happen in space."
Hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Work.
Like it would be legendary.
too.
It would be legendary. That
Work
story
trip.
would be legendary.
Can you get drunk in space?
These two, yes,
Yeah,
sure,
why not?
absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
no, I'm wondering how the booze would affect you because I assume that the hotel would have a mini bar.
Yeah, but you would, yeah, it's everything. It's like restaurants, bars, movie theaters, like all. But why would you go to space? You're going to go to space, right?
Yeah.
Like you're going to spend all this money to go to the space hotel, and what you're
Yes.
going to go to a flipping movie? Like, really? You're going to go sit in a movie theater?
Don't tell me how to
In
spend my
space?
vacation.
Oh my god!
Why you get mad at me
Oh,
for?
I'm
else
not
is there to
getting mad.
do?
I don't know, but listen. I'm not the activities director, but I'm just saying that
You
in
can't
the
play basketball.
In the articles that I've read, I would think that I would want cooler things other than a bar, spa, and a movie theater. But
you
maybe
can't sit
I'm
on a
wrong.
patio.
Maybe that's what people want. No, I don't want to
no,
sit
but
on a
gravity
patio.
isn't going to let you do anything
No,
else.
it's artificial gravity.
He
It
said that.
spins. It spins, creating artificial gravity.
But here's the only
It
thing.
rotates.
Here's a one issue I see with that.
Yeah.
With the amount of stuff that's already orbiting Earth,
Right.
They have to figure out how Space Hotel isn't going to crash into that stuff, or that stuff's not going to crash into Space
Again,
Hotel.
this is all stuff that
like
I
Elon Musk has how
a
many of
bajillion
his
satellites in the air?
thousands,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Hold on,
I
can
don't.
check
I
on
don't
that.
know. I don't know how they keep things from smashing into each other. All I know is that from what I hear, space is pretty large.
I assume they have bumpers.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. Look,
Are
so
you looking
on
at the satellites?
on this app, that
Yeah.
I have,
Anyway,
right?
I don't know if I would
like,
do.
look at all the
I
look
know.
At, like
I know.
thousands of satellites
I know.
all over. Look,
I know.
Like that,
I know.
how are you
But
gonna avoid all
listen,
this
they're,
stuff?
Well, they're programmed. It's like drones. You can throw all these drones in the air and they don't hit each other. They're all programmed to do what they want to do. But the question is, would you stay at the space hotel?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You would, huh?
Yes.
Nah, not me, man. Not me.
Yes,
nah.
of
It goes
course.
off. Something goes wrong, and it just starts spinning forever and ever and ever. And that is.
Yeah, but think
that's
about all the
it.
likes you'll get on
No,
Instagram.
who cares about that? No, I would be, and then I'd have
For
to.
the experience, I would.
No,
Absolutely.
no, and then they'd be looking for experts, and they'd be like, okay, is there an engineer on board? And guy would put his hand up, and is there a
Yeah.
doctor on board? Woman would put her hand up. Is there a farmer on board? Guy would put his hand up.
We need somebody
Is
to
there-
host
is
the
there
show
all of this?
for what we're about to talk
Nobody's
about.
I would
asking
do
that.
that.
I would have
I would do
zero
that.
skills. I would not be used in any way whatsoever.
We
I
need
would be
somebody-
the most useless person.
We need someone to sit there and do nothing.
No, I can do that, right?
there you go.
No,
Congratulations,
That,
sir.
nobody ever wants that. Nobody ever wants to assign somebody to do nothing.
Yeah, no,
Because
you're the
then
guy that has to stay out of the way.
Listen, I'm already the most hated person in this room. I don't want to be the most hated person in space. Okay?
Could you
Wait, no.
imagine?
Okay,
Oh, that would be an all-time low, bro.
No.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is,
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Laura, welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. What's on your mind?
My best friend won't talk to me anymore because I didn't approve my wedding date with her first.
Whoa, your best friend won't talk to you anymore because you didn't approve your wedding date with her?
Yeah, so it was a little strange.
You wrote us this, Roz and Mocha fixed my life. When I told my best friend, she just turned the entire situation around to be about her, how she is unable to attend my wedding, and how I should have been more empathetic to her and her work schedule.
Damn.
Now you're not speaking, And this has added a ton of stress and anxiety to an already stressful and anxiety-filled plan, I'm assuming, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been pretty hard with COVID and everything.
So why can't she go to your wedding?
So she got a new job at the end of the summer. It's shift work with the government, and I've been really, really supportive of her. She's missed a lot of things that she can't really attend, my engagement and everything, and it didn't really bother me, and it was okay. And my fiance and I decided to start wedding planning for summer 2022 early so that we can get a date and everything. So we were able to lock in a date that worked with us and our family.
Hold on. Pause for 1 second. Mm-hmm. Your best friend told you that she can't go to your wedding in summer 2022 because she's working?
Yes.
Oh,
summer 2022. So when we had planned a date, she had said that she was working on all these weekends, but I said we would try to do the best that we could. But then when we finally walked in a date, I told her, and first thing she said, I can't come. I told you I have to work that day. And I was like, it's a year and a half away.
You gave her a year and a half notice.
How does she know that she's even going to have that job in a year and a half? Like summer 2022, exactly. Right? And how does she know what her work schedule is going to be that far in advance?
Yeah, so I guess they release their schedule like a year or so in advance, just
even
so that they
still,
can know and they
schedules
can plan
change.
things.
But you have to assume, though, right, that a year and a half notice gives her plenty of time to talk to her boss, talk to her coworkers, talk to anybody to get that afternoon off.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, I understand that if she can't get it off, or at least she tried, but her initial reaction on something that we were really excited about, it was negative, and it kind of took a really happy experience and has turned it around, and now she's telling me I owe her an apology, and it's just gotten really messy.
You owe her an apology? Oh, my God. Yo, you just got uninvited to this wedding.
Yeah, weddings.
That's a trash friend.
Weddings have a way of, to put it bluntly, ruining friendships.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always over stuff like this. And the only thing that we've ever said is, if something as small as this, as in giving your best friend a year and a half notice to get a day off, if something like that is going to destroy the friendship, maybe this wasn't the friendship you thought it was.
Yeah, which is what I'm starting to kind of think that I don't think that she'll never be in my life again, but I think that it's definitely jaded it a little bit, and it's taken this experience that was supposed to be a little bit more happier and fun, and it's really stressed me out because now I don't even want to plan anything, and even my bridesmaids are nervous to even tell people that they're in the wedding party in case they might upset her. And
but it's not about her. I know she's making it about her. It's not about her. What are your other friends, like in your friend circle, or you mentioned your bridesmaids, what are they all saying about the situation? And has anyone talked to her about her reaction to your wedding day?
No one's really spoken to her, really, but every person I've talked to is just saying that it's a little, she's going a little above and beyond. It's a little crazy that she's making it about her, and she could at least put in a little bit more effort. And everyone's just on the same page as me. I think I'm kind of coming to the realization that maybe this friendship wasn't as important as maybe I thought. I'm just not entirely sure. That just weird that we would break a friendship over something like this.
Yeah, and it's her willingness to break a friendship over something like this. Like that's the problem. And normally when people make things all about them, it comes from a place of insecurity. Most people think that it comes from a place of ego, but it doesn't. Most times it comes from a place of insecurity, and I'm sure she's feeling insecure as hell because she feels left out, and you and all the other group of friends are going to get to go and do all the bridesmaid stuffs and plan the wedding and have fun, and she now feels like she's being left out. And so I would say a little compassion on your part might go a long way, but I will say that if her absolute willingness is to end a friendship because a year and a half notice to get a day off work for your wedding isn't enough, then I would say 100% that this is not the kind of friend you thought she was.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of thought so too, but it's hard. You have a couple of years of friendship with somebody, and we're in our 30s, so it's not like a small little friendship. So it's I guess a hard pill to swallow.
But invite her to take part in things. Mm. If she can't make the wedding, I don't think that you should cut her out of everything. I think that you can extend the invitation for her to be a part of everything that she can make it to. because you wanted her there in the first place. So just because she can't make it to the day doesn't mean she can't be a part of the process. And, you still want her input on things, and you still, want her to be a part of it, and you still want her in your life. But if she's just not willing to do any of that because you didn't consult her on your wedding day, then she's not the friend you thought she was.
Right. And should I still ask her to be in my wedding party should things clear up, or is it?
My opinion is that you give her, like, once you have all the dates kind of set out, like the day you want to go look at dresses and the day you need to do this and that, like, you give her the option, right? Here are the days. I know your schedule is busy. Would love for you to make it. If you can't, I totally get it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And maybe just try to move forward in a better way. But yeah, it just sucks.
Yeah. Also, bye, Felicia.
Wow.
Just saying, girl, bye.
Yeah.
Does that help, Laura?
Yeah, it does. Thank you so much. It just makes me kind of feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. You're good.
Yeah, but if there was a place for her at your wedding before all this, just let her know that place hasn't disintegrated, and if she can make it, there's going to be a place for her.
Right. Yep. No, that's perfect. That's true.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life
on Kiss.
We got a big anniversary to celebrate today, boy.
Oh, no.
9 years of a quote that hit and stuck and is now famous around the world.
9 years?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You're probably not going to be as hype about this as I am.
Oh.
Now that I think about it. Pro bowler Peter Weber won his fifth U.S. Open with a championship-clinching strike and celebrated
for God's sake.
by saying this.
Strike to claim it. A strike to claim it. And he got it!
That is right. I did it. That's number 5. Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Who do you think you are? I am. And it was so wonderful because that clip, just the passion of a bowler is just not something you're used to.
No, because right before...
You're not exposed to it.
Right before he released that bowling ball, he was like focused, like a laser beam focus.
Yeah. Who do you think you are?
Intensity on that face.
I am.
And I don't know if you know this, but he actually did an interview where he talks about that moment and why he said the words that he actually said.
Okay.
Again, which is, who do you think you are? I am.
Well, being caught up in the moment of throwing the strike and being as excited as I was, I had a kid rooting against me during the match, and he was doing it loud enough, just loud enough for me to hear. And it kind of made me mad. And people know that don't make me mad on TV because I'll just get better. But what I really wanted to say was, who do you think you are rooting against me? I'm the man of this tournament. That's what I really wanted to say. But as everybody knows, who do you think you are? I am, and which it caught on. It's a worldwide catchphrase now. So I really enjoy when people come up and say, who do you think you are? And my answer now is you were.
How funny, like.
Who do you think you are? I am.
But he said that because some kid was
I know, getting heckled. That bowling game is rough, huh?
Oh, man.
That's rough.
Strike to claim it. A strike to claim it. And he got it!
That is right. I did it. That's number 5. Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Did you see the footage of Snoop Dogg freaking out on Twitch?
No.
So he was playing Madden.
Twitch?
Yeah, on Twitch. And I don't know if it was in partnership, but there were a lot of people watching. Like, I don't know if he partnered with Twitch for it or if he just has a channel and he goes live every now and then, right?
Yeah.
But he's playing Madden, the football game. And 14 minutes into the stream, he gets scored on for the third time.
Okay.
Right? So this is after the third touchdown.
Who is he playing against? Just
on
regular
the-
Twitch streamers kind of thing?
Or
Okay.
I think just a computer, maybe.
I
right?
got
He's
you.
just running solo.
Okay.
And so he's losing 21-0. This is 14 minutes into his stream.
Okay.
He freaks out.
Look at this. This came in this room and everything went bad. This man.
So he throws his controller, takes his headphones off, slams it onto the table, and he gets up and he walks away, right? Oh, sorry. Before he gets up and walks away, he ends the game.
Okay. Like just exits out. Like
Completely,
done.
yeah.
I quit. Okay.
And then he gets up and he leaves, right?
Right.
But the stream is still going.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? The stream's still going.
Oh, no. That's invasive. Oh,
For
no.
7 hours.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And people were like sticking around. They had it on in the background. People were like listening.
Yeah.
Because he had music playing in the background. He had like all these classic funk songs.
Right.
That were playing. And so people were like enjoying the playlist.
Sure.
And then he eventually comes back to the computer.
7 hours later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Realizes that he's been streaming for 7 hours and then just shuts the computer down.
Man.
But Snoop Dogg freaking out 14 minutes into his Twitch stream.
Look at this.
It just all went bad.
This came in this room and everything went bad. This man.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I walked into the store without a mask again yesterday.
You idiot.
Yeah, I know.
What happened?
Okay. I don't know.
Hold on. So this happened just like less than 7 days ago.
Yeah, where I went into the liquor store and they caught me right away.
Yeah.
And then I felt terrible because I thought that they were going to be looking at me like I'm some sort of man Karen where I was going to cause a fuss. And then I did. And I Dracula'd, right? And then I ran out.
So and at that point, right, you didn't like load up your truck?
I did.
With
It was
more
yeah.
masks?
And I don't know why. I don't know what I was thinking. Like I don't know what was going on in my head, or I don't know. Like it was I don't know what was going on.
Are you exempt?
No, okay, so listen. So I go into this is at the Metro in Liberty, right? And I'm there frequently. It's just convenient. There's parking, everything else, right? So I go in, I grab a cart, I'm doing my regular stuff, right?
Okay.
And people are very friendly in there. And I walk in, and the first thing I do is I pass the hot food counter. And there's 2 cops there at the hot food counter. And both the cops look at me, like both their heads shoot over and look at me as I'm walking by them. And then they sort of follow me with their eyes as I walk by them.
Are the 2 police officers that are in this grocery store, are they both wearing masks?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So then I walk by the counter where the dude's making the pizza, and he looks up at me. And then I walk through the pharmacy area to go up to the meat aisle, and like people are staring, right? And I start to feel like, I'm like, my God, there's a lot of fans here today. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like,
Yo, clean up that ego and
okay.
I-5.
Yeah. I'm like, God, there's a lot of fans here today. This is really incredible. And then I start analyzing it where I'm like, God, the times that I've met cops in the past that have been fans, they've at least said hi, but those 2 dudes just stared at me.
Yeah.
So then I double back, right? So I double back because I'm like, maybe I should go to produce first. I pass the 2 cops again. Again, both of them stare at me, and I'm like, God, that's really weird. So as I walk by, I say to them, what's up?
Yeah.
And then they just look at me. And then slowly I just take my hand up and I put it onto my face.
No.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
And then I look down, and in my cart, there's just pork chops. And then I run out of the store like a maniac.
Yo, so you left the cart there?
Left it right there in front of 2 cops. Yeah. Left it right there in front of 2 cops.
But you didn't say anything?
No, I didn't say anything because I'm so terrified. Okay. I'm so terrified. I'm not like, I don't care if somebody thinks I'm an a-hole, right? But I'm terrified for somebody to think that I am the kind of guy that thinks he doesn't need to wear a mask.
Especially you're walking through the grocery store with all these potential fans.
That's what I'm terrified of. And so on my way out, I was like, one, crushed because I didn't wear a mask, but I was more crushed that I didn't encounter a whole bunch of fans that day because that really like...
But not even like when you pass the cops, right? When you realize you didn't say, oh crap, I forgot my mask. I better go get it.
I didn't even, I ran out of the store. I ran out of the store like I thought like they were going to look at their phone and my face was going to be on it and I was wanted for something. Like
you ran out of the store like you stole something.
I ran out of the store.
Police officers didn't chase you.
Yeah, okay. And then I realized, no, there's pork chops in my cart. So they have to know that if I was going to steal anything, it would have been the pork chops, right? So I ran back out. I ran back out, and then I got my mask, and I came back in. And then, of course, I walked through the store, and nobody looked at me. And then that
disappointed, right?
Disappointed completely.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
If you're interested, there's a bunch of stuff that at one time belonged to Prince that's now up for auction. Bidding goes till next Wednesday. The white ruffled shirt that he wore in Purple Rain is up for auction.
What are you going to do with that?
Right? It says here, along with his personally played and owned bright yellow cloud guitar, which has a unique series of 18 black print symbols on the guitar, which was custom made back in 96. $60,000 is what it's expected for the guitar and the sexy ruffled shirt.
Do you have to buy both together? I can't just buy the puffy shirt?
I don't know. I'm sure you could buy both.
Yeah. I don't even think that shirt has buttons on it, to be honest with you. I think you might have to just tie the knot in the bottom. You ever worn one of those shirts?
We just tie it on the bottom?
Yeah.
No.
No? You have, Maury?
Yeah. You?
What's that?
I assume you did.
Yeah, I've had one of those shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't wear it much, though.
What would be the occasion that you have to wear one of those shirts?
Okay, so you have to understand, right? So it's a dress shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a dress shirt, but it's a dress shirt with no buttons and no buttonholes.
Okay.
Okay, it's like you put it on like a dress shirt, and the only way to close some of it up is to tie a knot in the bottom of it. Like what ladies used to do with the bottoms of their T-shirts.
So when you would tie the knot at the bottom,
yes,
would you tie it like right in the middle?
You
or
had
would
to.
it
There was
be
no way
right,
to.
like
No. You could
you'd
only
squeeze
tie
it tight
it.
and then like tie it to the side.
No, you couldn't tie it to the side because you're basically using the bottom two corners of the front of the shirt.
I had this as a leopard print crushed velvet shirt.
Yeah, they were very popular.
The same kind?
Yeah, buttonless. Yeah, for some weird reason, there was a thing where, like...
How many did you own?
Just one. Come on, what am I? I'm not a collector.
I had two.
Right?
I had a Hawaiian one, too.
Yeah.
A Hawaiian one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was the intent of the shirt was to show off as much as you could, but they allowed you to tie the bottom up. Like the look was to tie a knot in the bottom
How
of it.
open would it be?
Like if you sat... You nipples like you would
yeah.
you would hold
Full,
it.
would you like see belly as well?
You yes, of course. Like so you wound up looking like, here's the thing is that you would be super confident in it. You would be at home ready to go to the club.
Yeah.
Okay, you'd put on the shirt with no buttons. You'd tie the knot in the bottom of it, and you'd feel like $1 million. You'd feel dynamite, ready to take on the world. I'm going out tonight to slay. As soon as you walked out of the house, as soon as you walked out of the house, you looked like your mom walking into the kitchen in her bathrobe on Sunday morning, where all you did was you grabbed the top of it and just held it in your fist.
And you can't wear that
all
in the
night
winter time
long.
either.
No,
You'd be freezing.
But you would, because you'd wear a coat, you'd put your coat of coat check, and away you go.
Yeah, but it was just, it was...
I can't believe Roz and I didn't go clubbing together. We dressed the same.
Stop it. I knew No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Blue glow sticks or red glow sticks?
No, I did not use glow sticks. I was not one of those guys.
Oh, I was.
Here I am saying I wore a shirt with no buttons and tied a knot on the bottom.
How dare you not use a glow stick?
And now I'm like, I'm not one of those guys.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hi, Paige. Welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show.
Hi, how are you guys?
We're doing good. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Paige, what do you do for a living?
I'm a recruiter, so I do hiring and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. And I assume you're on meetings every single day.
Yes.
Paige wrote in and said, I need a joke to bring to my meeting today. Does Damn It Maury have any ideas? So do you always?
Are you sure?
Oh.
I know. My boss is actually my mom, so it's so ridiculous. Every week she'll do a themed meeting, and this week's meeting is yuck yuck. So I need to bring a joke.
Wait, yuck yucks, as in the
yeah,
comedy club?
So she makes it a big thing, and everyone has to bring a joke to say over.
I'm gonna ask you again. Are you sure?
I have nothing.
How have the jokes been so far this week?
Bad.
Oh, really?
Give us an example.
Okay, this is the only one that I have as an option. So, why did the cowboy want a wiener dog?
Why did the cowboy want a wiener dog? Why?
Because he wanted a long little doggy.
Okay. You got anything better than that, Maury?
Waiting for you to introduce the comedy
No. Do you have anything better than that?
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Is there a basic theme to this, or are these just random
funny.
jokes?
Yeah, the theme. The theme is hysterical. Mocha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, get with that.
Okay. What is the leading cause of dry skin?
What?
Coronavirus.
No, towels.
Okay.
What is the hardest cult to join?
Excuse
Difficult.
Difficult. Difficult.
Oh.
Okay.
What do you call two birds stuck together?
What do you call two birds stuck together? What?
Velcros.
Shouldn't it be two crows stuck together?
No, then you're giving away the answer too quickly.
Yeah.
Let me do the comedy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Mocha.
Okay. What do you
Because
call...
what if they were pigeons?
For the love, can we kick him out?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you call a dog in a submarine?
What do you call a dog in a submarine?
A subwoofer.
Okay. Are any of these hitting with you at all, or no?
Oh,
I don't know.
Here's a good one. Okay. What did one boob say to the other?
What?
If we don't get support, they'll call us nuts.
Excuse me?
Okay.
Can you explain that one more?
Because I guess they hang low if you don't have support for your boobs. Okay. How do you spot a blind man in a nudist beach?
How do you spot a blind man at a nudist beach?
He's fully clothed.
No, it's not hard.
Oh.
What is faster, hot or cold?
What?
Hot, because you can catch a cold.
Are any of these?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, pause for 1 second. I'm going to ask you for a third time now. Are you sure?
I got 2 or 5 more.
2 or 5?
No, we're done. You don't want? Do you want any of these? Are any of these hitting with you?
Okay, I might. Maybe I'll steal one.
Which one?
Can I say the boobs one at work?
Sure.
I don't know.
I don't. Your mom's your boss. Say, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hold on, one more.
One more.
Damn it, Maury.
Hey, 2 more.
No, one more.
No, one, man.
What part of the hospital has the least privacy?
Which part?
The ICU.
Right. Okay. How about that one?
Okay, yeah, I'll take it.
Oh, no, this one.
Okay.
What do you call a woman who sets fire to her bills?
Yo, this better not be a sexist joke.
Okay, Bernadette.
Yeah, there you go.
Good
Okay.
one.
You're gonna
Thanks,
okay.
guys.
It took us all that time to get to Bernadette. Okay. What would you say on a scale of 1 to 10 is your regret level right now?
It's no regret.
No?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, mine's at like a 9.
It's better than nothing.
All right, Bernadette.
Have a great day, Paige. Thanks for listening to the Roz and
Say-
Mocha Show.
Say hi to your mom for us.
Okay, thanks,
All right.
guys. Bye.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello?
Hey, it's Roz and Mocha.
Hi. How
Hi.
are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Fine.
Can you take us off speakerphone real quick?
Yes.
So we got your text, and Roz, I know you don't like hearing about people's dreams.
Oh, God.
But I'm very much interested in your dream. Because apparently, Roz, you and I were... What's your name, by the way?
Melody. Melody.
Melody. So apparently, you and I, Roz, were in Melody's dream. And I need
Okay.
to know what happened in the dream. And why we were in your dream, or why you think, at least, Melody.
Because I listen to your podcast every day.
Oh,
I
okay.
binge listen.
Well, thank you very much. So what was the dream, and how were we involved?
I just dreamt that you guys were hosting your show Topless.
Topless.
That was pretty much it.
Oh, that's it?
That was the only part of the dream I could remember.
Like, did you get a sense that it was like topless because we were hot, or topless? Like, it was just.
For sure.
No, I don't.
No, like hot, like as in temperature. Was it hot in the studio?
Like, were we stripping down because it was like sweltering in here, or were we stripping down to be sexy, or was this just?
No, there was no stripping involved. It was just Mocha sitting there topless.
Just Mocha.
I could only see Mocha.
Oh, wait. What about Roz? Roz wasn't topless?
I didn't see him.
You didn't see me.
Were you in the room?
I wasn't, no.
How do I look topless? I mean, I'll tell you right now. Topless me now, like not. Oh, okay, thank you.
You look good though, right?
Awesome.
Mocha look good in your dream?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's why I texted. I need to confirm if my dream was accurate.
Oh,
yeah, 100%. 100%.
When's the last time you shaved your shoulders?
Like a month and a bit ago.
Oh, that's a long time for growth.
They're coming in. They're coming in.
Not good. It's
anyway,
not good.
Thanks for asking me about that.
So in my dream, you're like very clean shaven.
Oh, like even chest and everything, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, now was he
Abs
like
included.
Was it like, was the skin tone, was it more matte, or was he like shiny a little bit? Like had he
He was
oiled
a
up?
bit shiny and very smooth.
Okay.
Like a wrestler.
No.
Oh.
No, the wrestlers, they have such hard bodies.
Right.
Oh, thanks.
More like okay. More right. More like a tomato.
Not quite that squishy, but really nice.
Okay, but still squishy. He said not that quite. Now I kind of regret calling you out, Melody.
Trust me, it was good. It was good.
It was good. Now, was he sitting or standing? Because I would be self-conscious if I had to sit topless.
Oh, yeah.
He was sitting. He was sitting, and it was
really?
nice and flat.
Oh, really? Excuse me.
You'll be happy to know, Melody, I have been working out, so.
I know. I saw your post on Insta, and maybe that's why I dreamt about it.
Uh-huh.
You were posting about working out.
Dream Mocha's got them gains.
Yeah, real life Mocha, not so much. Yeah. Well, Melody, it was a pleasure talking to you. I'm kind of glad.
Problem.
I'm kind of glad that we called you to talk about your dream. Smooth and like somewhat squishy, like a tomato.
Not like a tomato. I didn't say not as squishy as a tomato.
Right. Now, was there a chance that I might have been on the other side of the room with an easel and palette painting him?
Perhaps.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
yeah.
And the little mustache.
Right. Yes.
Like how you paint all your French girls?
Yes. Like the work of art that he is.
Melody, we love you lots. Thank you very much for your text, and thank you for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show.
Are you not going to ask me who my favorite is?
Of course. Between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
It's Ross all the way.
Oh, really?
Hold on a second. What the hell? Yo, you dreaming about me topless with abs, and Roz is still your favorite? That doesn't make any sense, Melody.
Ross is my favorite.
Love you lots, Melody. Have a great day.
So much.
They're the best. Love
Bye.
you. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, my God. So when it comes to borders and COVID and everything else, everybody's terrified. And we forever in Canada, we're like, keep those dirty Americans out of here.
Yeah, still.
And it's going to get to the point of where they're going to be like, keep those Canadians out of here. But not wanting people to come in is a thing that a lot of people have. So in China, remember everybody's talking about butt swabs, right, to test for COVID?
Oh yeah, because they were saying it was a more accurate.
Yeah.
Accurate test.
Right. So everybody's talking about butt swabs, and we're like, God, man, like, could you imagine like that kind of world of where that kind of thing was mandatory? Well, they are now.
No.
They are.
In China?
Yes, but only to foreigners who are coming into China. Tell me that that's not a deterrent.
Yeah, absolutely.
To travel.
That's not, I bet you that's not even a real thing.
China has made anal COVID-19 swabs mandatory for all foreign travelers arriving in the country. The government has claimed that such tests provide a much higher degree of accuracy than the other screening methods for the virus. As part of the new travel requirement, there will be testing hubs in Beijing and Shanghai airports. A respiratory disease doctor said that the anal swabs are better because the virus traces stay longer on fecal samples than they do in the nose and the throat. Now, this comes after Japan had asked China to stop with the bum swabs because their citizens, when they travel back and forth between Japan and China, felt that it caused mental anguish. Imagine that. You get off a plane, you got to go in a room, and they have to do the bum swab, right?
Every single time.
Okay, that is, I understand the idea of mental anguish. And then China turns around and says that, listen, these screenings, they're science-based, okay? So you don't want to come, don't come. But if you do show up and you get off a flight, you're getting the bum swab. Jeez. So tell me that that's not a deterrent to just keep people out of the country.
Absolutely not. They should do that at our borders.
Right?
For the Americans.
Right?
I know they have like more vaccines. They're getting more people vaccinated over there and everything. But we're not ready yet.
That's a deterrent, though. That's not, I know it's science-based. Sure, you can look to the science and say, hey, listen, this is a far more accurate test. But you don't really. Like, this is a way to keep people out. Because if you jump on a plane and you land there, you got to go to an airport hub after you've just been on a plane for God knows how long. Because unless you're flying from Japan, right, getting to China is a long flight.
Yeah, days.
Right? That's a long, from a lot of parts of the world, that's a long flight. And so that's it now, though. Mandatory when you land in either Beijing or Shanghai, you land in the airport and you have to go to a hub and you have to get the bum swab.
No, thanks.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Are people still interested in the Friends reunion or what? Because there's been so much talk about this reunion. So much that I feel like they kind of build your hopes up, get your hopes up, build it up, and then it's like, okay, well, it's not happening because of whatever. I guess the excuse is COVID. They haven't been able to film. Although other production companies and other people have been able to do things during the COVID world safely and efficiently. And David Schwimmer came out and said, finally now, he said it's happening. Actually, in a little over a month, I'm heading out to LA. So finally, we figured out a way to film it safely. And there's going to be a portion of it that we filmed outside because of, for safety protocols. And there's still no date for when the Friends reunion is going to happen. I'm not interested anymore, to be honest.
I never was. I have very little interest in sitting around listening to David Schwimmer and Courtney Cox, although I like them all, and I think they're great characters, but I have no interest in sitting around listening to them talk about Friends.
As a huge fan of Friends, I was excited for this until they said it was going to be them discussing it and not an actual scripted reunion.
No. Yeah, no. Would I like a reunion if they came back and they did like a 1 hour sort of Friends thing? Sure, of course I would watch that because I like the characters, right? I have no, I'm fine with David Schwimmer. I like Ross.
Yeah.
Right? I like Phoebe. I like the characters. I don't like it's not like Jerry Seinfeld where Seinfeld on the show is very similar to Seinfeld in real life, right? Like it's not like
Larry
that.
David.
It's exactly like Larry David. It's not like that.
I think there needs to be a story beyond them just sitting around talking about the show.
That's all it's going to be.
No, I know, but there needs to be...
Do you remember that scene where we filmed this? Do you remember? That's what's going to be.
Because what HBO Max did with the Fresh Prince reunion was amazing, right? And people loved it. And the big kind of like story, the big bombshell was that original Aunt Viv was going to be a part of it because, the history that Aunt Viv had with the franchise, specifically with Will Smith, their beef, right? That was like the big story. And then also knowing that they were going to talk about the late James Avery, R.I.P. Uncle Phil.
You had with Fresh Prince something that Friends does not have, which the Fresh Prince reunion happened when everybody was doing these sort of incredible reunions. And over the last year since COVID hit, we have got to see some unbelievable cast reunions just on Zoom and for charities and for everything else.
The live reads and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing that when dealing with a sitcom sort of reunion, the thing that Fresh Prince had that Friends doesn't have and what made it interesting is it happened at a time where everybody was still discussing the tragedy of George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, all of those conversations were very top of mind. And to go back and look at Fresh Prince, but look at Fresh Prince from the perspective of, yes, it was a great comedy and a huge launching pad for Will Smith, but to look at Fresh Prince to talk about what they did on a comedy show when it came to race, what they did on a comedy show when it came to class, what they did on the comedy show when it came to absentee fathers, with drugs, with guns. They managed to do all of that stuff on a goofy show called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Friends ain't that interesting.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think
Friends
that with
ain't that
Fresh
interesting.
Prince, that if Aunt Viv didn't agree to come on, that it would have been still a big story?
Yes, because there's still so much to talk about. There were still so many moments that all these years later, you didn't as watching Fresh Prince when you were a kid and you're just watching it as a goof. But all these years later, you realize that they did try and work in a lot of sort of social aspects to that show that were important, that weren't actually being talked about on comedies.
If they did the Friends reunion right when they said they were going to do it way back then, it
Sure,
would have been a much bigger deal. They just
I
dragged
think
this
so.
thing
Yeah,
out.
I think just because of all the cancellations. I mean, I'll probably watch it, but like my interest level is like very low now.
Oh yeah. No. But again, but again, you brought up Fresh Prince. I'm interested in Will Smith, right? Like
you have that
I like the
emotional
Fresh
attachment.
Prince. I like the Fresh Prince. I like the character, right? But I'm interested in Will Smith. I'm not interested in David Schwimmer. I'm not really interested in Matt LeBlanc or Matthew Perry. Like I'm not interested in them. I like the characters, but to sit around and listen to them talk, it's lost on me.
How many how you doings is,
right.
is Joey going to say? How many you think? Are they going to do a montage?
I will say he is the most interesting, though.
Yeah,
he
you
is
think
the
they'll
most
do a
interesting.
montage? Oh, that'd be amazing if they did like a how you doing
Go on
montage.
YouTube and watch a how you doing
There's
montage.
no, hold on.
For God's sake.
Is there one?
Of course there is. You don't think YouTube, you don't think somebody after all these years
Friends.
has done a how you doing montage?
Matt LeBlanc, though, is he's nothing like his character, though, so it might be disappointing for people who think that he is.
No, but did you watch episodes?
No.
Watch episodes because Matt LeBlanc plays Matt LeBlanc in episodes.
Oh my God!
And it's
Guys,
incredible.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
I just found on YouTube
How long?
4 minutes and 10 seconds.
There you go.
Of Joey saying how you
There
doing.
you
All right,
go.
I gotta go. I'm busy.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Damn it, Maury spent $110.40 on 4 margaritas.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Maury, come in here.
Why would you waste your money?
I didn't waste my money. I enjoyed the margaritas.
So it was this is from Uber? You ordered margaritas from Uber?
Yeah, so that they show up at... How cool is that? Drinks show up at your house.
Why don't you just make them at home?
But why
Way
were
cheaper.
you paying? Why is it that expensive for margaritas?
Well, each one was like 15... Well, I mean, whatever that is divided by 4.
Right.
What? Your math don't add up.
Well, it was, I don't know, 54? No.
Okay, so you ordered them. What? Can you order 4 margaritas all at once?
No. I ordered 2.
Right.
And then I loved them so much I ordered 2 more.
Oh my God.
Because you can only order 2 drinks at a time?
No, I thought that 2 would be enough.
Oh. Can you order just alcohol on Uber?
No, you have to order food with it.
Oh. So what did you order for food?
A fish taco.
Hold on, you ordered
Did you
4
eat the fish
margaritas
taco?
and 1 fish taco?
No, 2 fish tacos.
2 fish tacos.
God.
Okay. So you ordered 2 margaritas and a fish taco, and then the 2 margaritas and a fish taco showed up.
Yeah.
You and Matthew drank the margaritas.
Yes.
Please tell me you shared the fish taco.
No, I eat the fish taco.
Okay.
Oh.
And then you guys decided that you wanted more margaritas. And so you ordered 2 more margaritas and another fish taco.
And the cool thing is on Uber, you just click reorder.
Okay. So what did you do with the second fish taco?
I ate it again.
You ate it again. So this is they recorded themselves. This is what, on the weekend?
That's right.
If you're interested in Maury and Matthew Margarita Drunk.
I just don't understand why you wouldn't buy the stuff to make margaritas and let's have it at home. Like, make it yourself.
Yeah, but where do you go when you all of a sudden decide that you need a margarita?
I have never all of a sudden decided
Yeah,
that I
me
needed a
neither.
margarita.
Yeah.
I've never been like, oh my God, right now I need a margarita, where I'm willing to pay $110.40 for 4 margaritas.
Margarita to me is more of like a vacation drink.
Now, on
like, I think the last time I had a margarita was when I was on vacation.
Yeah,
you can order kits on Uber, but I wanted it done for me.
So what does it come in when they deliver it to you?
A plastic to-go cup.
With a
That's
straw
it?
on the top?
Yeah.
Is it still icy though? Or is it, yes?
Because
it
the
is.
restaurant was a block away.
Right.
You guys could have walked to the restaurant?
Yes.
But you can
Oh
you
my
but can you
God,
take
you guys are so lazy.
Question for you. If you did walk to the restaurant, are you allowed to take away a margarita? Like, can you go and pick up a margarita and walk it home?
That's a good question. See, you may not be able to do that.
So, by the way, Maury, it works out to $27.50 per margarita.
Mocha, there's your answer. $27.50.
$27.
What a
for,
waste.
For four,
and you tipped?
for-
You tipped on Uber?
Yes.
Yes.
More the second time
15%.
because I was drunk.
Oh my God. What a waste.
What did you tip the first time?
15%.
What did you tip the second time?
25%.
25%.
So you took 40%.
And here's why.
And two fish tacos?
Here's why I felt bad because it was the same guy. It was the same delivery
you know that guy
guy.
thinks that y'all are a bunch of losers, huh?
I know. You know,
Way to go back to
I'm
these.
surprised that he wasn't like tipping up the bottom of the cup as he walked in, get you a little bit more drunk, get two more margaritas out of you.
Oh no! So what's this then?
This is just Matthew and Maury talking drunk.
Margaritas in bed. Margaritas in bed. I'm touching your hair.
Oh, could you stop?
No, but I think you have like hair like a prince in shining armoire.
What?
What?
I picture you on a horse.
I would never get on a horse.
In a buggy.
Oh, hell no.
There's like the blonde guy with long hair.
Oh, I'm not into blondes, really.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You should be into your
Okay,
husband.
that
Wait,
was-
is this more? Is this
this
like
is-
your pickup like tactic? Not pickup, but
Yeah,
like
he gets.
to-
It sounds to me
to
like
get him turned on and
Yes,
stuff?
it sounds to me what Maury's move is that he just gets really close into Matthew's face.
Yeah.
Like that's what I picture your move being. Is that accurate?
Pretty much. Yes.
Yeah.
Now
like
continue.
Stop it.
And then Matthew just denies.
But yes, $110.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Mike Richards is the executive producer of Jeopardy and has been the guy that we've heard the most from when it came to giving updates on Alex Trebek before he passed away in November. Now, the show has a bunch of guest hosts in the next few weeks, and Mike has actually been the guest host that we've been watching the past few weeks. Mike Richards, welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show. How are you, man?
I am great. Thanks for having me. How you guys doing?
Good. When you stepped up and you sort of did the show must go on, what were your feelings? Because you know this show in and out, and you know Alex better than probably most did. But what was it like for you to sort of walk out there for the first time before you took that first breath and said those first words?
You know, I felt pretty calm. I had controlled my nerves. I hadn't had a lot of time to wind up into it because I didn't know I was going to do it until a couple days before I was standing on the stage. So there wasn't a lot of time to really get too far in my head, which is probably a good thing. So I stayed pretty calm, and then Johnny Gilbert, our legendary announcer, announces my name as I'm walking out to do the first show. And you can't see it, but I walk through a wall of bricks in that moment. I'm like, did Johnny Gilbert just say my name? Because at that point, it was just like, it was really the show must go on, and it was, I got to do what I got to do to keep things going. I'm a producer, that's my job. But hearing him, that was the moment that it all hit me like a ton of bricks.
Have you been following along on social to see like the reaction to when you are the actual host, to see what people are saying?
A little bit. I mean, I get updates on the media and press on both Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. I get daily updates via email. So I've seen some stuff. I've also, you know, my friends and family have sent me things.
As the exec producer, is the final say on who the ultimate new host is that your final say? And is your name now in the mix?
No, there's a lot of stakeholders, as you can imagine, with a show like Jeopardy. And, you know, the show is owned by Sony. So there's a lot of people involved. We're distributed by CBS Viacom Ventures. ABC is big for us. So there's a lot of people. So no, is the short answer. And, you know, I'm excited because there's a lot of guest hosts coming. And I think people will enjoy them. I think people will have reactions to them. And so we have kind of a long way to go in that.
But is your name in the mix too? Would you want to do this? Like, would you want to sort of keep doing this? Because people want you to. They really do.
Well, that's ridiculously flattering. I think it's the greatest quiz show in the world. And yes, I would be beyond honored to do it. That's, you know, there's there's a lot of things to do between now and making that decision, and a lot of great people for our fans to see and weigh in on, and we'll kind of take it from there.
Mike Richards is on the Roz and Mocha Show, Jeopardy executive producer, current fill-in host. Let's go through some of the names of the celeb guest hosts. You have Katie Couric, you have Dr. Oz, Aaron Rodgers, Anderson Cooper, Bill Whitaker from 60 Minutes. Who are you excited to see take on the role of guest host?
I have to say, Aaron Rodgers is kind of the outlier as not a broadcaster in that group. Everyone else there is a massive media presence tied to the show in some way. But Aaron is the biggest fan of Jeopardy maybe on the planet.
Yeah.
And he is so smart, and we have taped those episodes, and I'm excited for you guys and everyone to see him do it because he's phenomenal at it. He's not phenomenal for being a football player. He's phenomenal. And so that was the one I was most excited about seeing. Concerned as the producer, how is it going to be? But I thought I had an instinct that he would really elevate, and he did. He was amazing.
Have you had a chance, or has anybody informed you of the thirst that you've unlocked? You know what happens to people when you're on television and social starts going nuts? There is a thirst that you have unlocked, man.
You listen, dehydration is real.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
You can't be telling us that, you haven't spent a couple extra, 5-10 more minutes on your cardio or hit the gym, a couple extra days more than you normally would, Mike.
Well, this is interrupting my gym time,
Fair enough.
3, 4,
Fair enough.
5 hours a day. I haven't eaten a carb in 14 years. So, yes, that was hilarious. And did I get heckled by my friends on that? Yes.
Okay, good. What is the plan? Because I know this is still very much, especially with the guest host coming in, we're all still sort of getting over Alex. And you had made mention, you referenced him the first day that you walked out there. But knowing Alex and what he felt for that show, the show was always bigger than Alex in his eyes. Is there a time frame where you guys will sort of let Jeopardy continue, where maybe the references to Alex, what's your timeline for moving on? And I don't mean to be crass with that, but I don't know if it's good for the show to constantly always sort of bring it back to Alex, because it's a sort of painful reminder.
The process for me personally is that it is still very sad. We're choosing to celebrate him. He was so funny and so dry. He would look at me and go, Mike, no one's going to say I went too soon. And he was so real and so blunt that, I feel like, yes, it may be a little painful for people, but I think I'm taking his lead on this.
Mm-hmm.
He did not shy away from things. He did not shy away from coming out on the show and talking about the impact of COVID-19 and talking about making the world a better place. And I was always a little like, oh boy, he's going right into this, or talking about his cancer and what it was doing to him. And so again, I'm kind of following his lead.
Yeah.
We're going to pay homage to him. He always wanted the show to be bigger than him, and he worked very hard to make that a reality. But the truth was, he was larger than life. And I think he is synonymous with the show. And I don't want to move on from him. I think he's a part of the show forever, and we're better for it.
Mike Richards, executive producer of Jeopardy, guest host as well. Thank you. You had mentioned you have such a busy week coming up, and we appreciate that you made time for us on the Roz and Mocha Show.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, you guys.
You got it.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Hi, Nicole. How are you? It's Roz and Mocha.
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome. What's going on with you?
I am returning to work from mat leave and becoming a manager, and I'm terrified.
So you wrote us this, Roz and Mocha Fix My Life. You've been on mat leave since December 2019, and you have been promoted to a manager position. You said that you're so scared and nervous to go back because you've never managed before, and you're now going to be responsible for supporting multiple employees daily, completing reviews and conflict resolution and all that stuff. How do you prepare for this to make sure you're a good manager?
Right.
Couple of things. If you want people to work hard for you, okay, you have to be somebody who's worth working hard for. And that comes with trust and it comes with respect, but there's a lot of sort of little things in there. I would say that one of the main things is that people want to feel ownership over what they do. They want to feel that they're doing their job, not a part of your job.
Okay.
Okay. And that's huge because people want to feel like they have their own thing as opposed to doing something that is your job. They're not there to help you. And even if you've done their job before, there is nothing that destroys a relationship faster between a manager and employee when the manager reminds the employee that they know how to do their job. Okay.
Right.
The only way they should know that you have done their job and are good at the job that they do is when you jump in because it's necessary. The only way that they should see your skills in doing what they do for a living is when you jump in on their level and assist them. You don't take over, you assist them. And I think all those little things will turn you into somebody that people want to work hard for. Because people don't work for, I've never thought that I work for a company. Never. I've never had it in my head that I work for a company. I have only ever had it in my head that I work for people. And and I've worked for some people that made it really, really difficult to want to work hard for them. And it weighs on you. It weighs on you as an employee. It messes with the dynamic in the office. It builds resentment. It screws up your mental health. But I think that you need to listen and you need to be fair.
Okay.
Nicole, do you know the people that you are working with now? Or I guess the people who are going to be working for you?
Maybe some of them, but others, no.
And the manager that you had prior to stepping into this role, were they like a good manager in your eyes?
No, that's part of my struggle is I have previously had not great managers, so I'm trying to avoid that. I want to be better.
Self-awareness is also really huge. When you're the boss and you kind of sit in that office and then you come out and you have a meeting, every couple of days or whatever it is. I've worked with some people who their biggest downfall was that they just completely lacked self-awareness. They completely missed how people perceive them. They completely missed their space that they occupy in the dynamic of an office. And you run the risk of that becoming a manager because you do detach yourself a little bit from the people that you work for. But when you totally lose it, they lose respect.
Right. Okay. But then also, how do I help build my relationships working remotely from them as well?
Be there for them.
Yeah.
Be there for them. Be 100%. This right now, especially working remotely, is the perfect time for one-on-one time with everyone. Not everything has to be done in a group. Although it's easier to just send out the Zoom link, not everything has to be done in a group. But when you start doing one-on-one time and it becomes consistent, let everybody know that this is going to happen, that you're going to be meeting with people, one-on-one, and honestly, all you have to do is listen. You don't have to dictate anything, just to get a sense of how the people who are working for you feel about working for you and working for the company and on the tasks that they do. And people want growth and they want to know that they're supported. And as long as you can sort of provide that atmosphere for people in a one-on-one situation and do it in a fair way, I think you're a good manager.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Why not set up those one-on-ones like for next week or something, or later this week?
Yeah, I think I will. Like as soon as I can, I think I'm going to definitely try to have those one-on-ones for sure.
Yeah, that'll help.
And when you're talking to people, the general sense, especially when somebody's talking to a manager, is you want to sort of go through with the grievances. You want to go through and say, what's not going well, especially a lot of employees will sort of take that angle. What's it worth meeting with you unless I can't tell you what all my problems are? That's the way a lot of meetings go. I would always start with leading them to discussing the things that are going well and getting them to do more of that and less of what they don't like or less of what bothers them. Don't turn these into sort of like, bitch fests, right?
Yeah.
Where everybody just sits and complains about everything. You don't want to build that relationship. You want people to, you want to know what's going well for them and what they enjoy, what they think they're good at.
All right.
And you know what, Nicole? Like, you wouldn't have been offered this position or been given this opportunity if you weren't already good at what you do. or if they didn't believe in you and that you could lead a team.
Yes, that's another aspect that I'm trying to accept and kind of embrace a little bit more too.
Yeah. Nah, you'll be great. You'll kill it.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Nicole.
Okay, thank you.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life
on Kiss.
You know me, I'm all Apple all day, every day.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for everything they release.
Yep.
So the rumors are now going around about the iPhone 13, which is supposed to drop or at least be officially announced in September. And, okay, Android users, we all know you're better. Don't at me.
Wow.
Because you've had this feature already. Some of the devices already exist. So I'm just talking to all my Apple fans out there. But the rumor is that the iPhone 13 is going to have a terabyte of storage on there.
Okay. You happy about that?
I guess. I mean,
what are you going to use all that space for?
That's the thing. Like, I'll be honest, I'll probably buy it, but I don't need that much storage.
I don't know how much space I even have on my phone. How do you find
don't?
that out? No.
Oh my God. Okay, settings.
Settings?
You know how to get to settings?
No. What is that? The gear?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I get that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not an idiot. And then what?
Okay. And then go to general.
Okay. The gear again. Yeah.
Yep. And then the very top there, about.
A boot?
Yep.
All right.
And then you can see how much storage you have.
512 gig.
What are you using?
I have available to me 386 gig.
Oh, wow. All right. So you're good.
I can't think of, how am I going to use a terabyte on a phone?
Well, what they're saying is...
I guess maybe if you're shooting video in like 4K and stuff like that.
Well, that's the thing. It says here, this article that I'm reading, videographers who work with high-res videos will be happy to see this option.
Right. Shooting in 4K, like if I understand that you can shoot in 4K, and when they give you a phone that you can shoot in 4K or a camera or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
But if whatever you're importing that into, like if you have to edit that, it's like shooting in 4K is like owning an elephant. It's like every single time you have to move a file, it takes every bit of strength that like your computer has to move that file around. It's like trying to move an elephant back and forth when you're dealing with video that large. Like I've never shot anything in 4K.
On your phone?
Never. Not on my phone, not on my cameras, not on nothing. I've never shot a single thing in 4K.
Another new feature, rumored at least,
Nobody
but they don't
needs that many
say
Ks.
they don't say exactly what it is. It just says astrophotography features,
What does that
which
mean?
I'm very interested
Like
in.
shoot the moon?
That's the thing. Like, are you telling me that this new iPhone 13 potentially could take a clear enough photo of the moon? You could adjust your light settings and your zoom, let's say.
God, how many times do I have to do that thing with my thumbs where I make the screen bigger to zoom in?
Yeah.
Right?
Right? Or to adjust the light sensitivity.
Yeah, but you need to get close. You need to get like that thing has to have like a real
Like,
good zoom on it.
Is this new feature going to allow me to take like clear photos of
what?
the sky, of like stars that I see at night?
Listen, man, I don't know. Nothing surprises me. Like nothing surprises me.
It's crazy.
Right? Like everything just moves so fast. The tech just moves so fast.
Yeah.
That I still use my phone right now, and I don't know what one I have. How do I find that out? I don't know.
Oh my God.
Stop it.
I'm not going to walk you through how to find out what version
I
of the
don't know.
iPhone
I
you
don't
have.
know what version of iPhone I have, but I still use it.
4.
I still use it pretty much the same way that I did when I had my first iPhone.
Calculator and flashlight?
Calculator and a flashlight. Yep.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
15-year-old Casey Bishop was on American Idol last week and just stunned everyone when she performed Livewire from Motley Crue.
I'll either break his face or take down his legs. Give him my ways, I will. Go for the throat and never let loose. Going in for the kill. Take my fists and break down walls. I'm on top tonight. Oh no, you better turn me loose. You better set me free, 'cause I'm a high young and running free. Little bit better than I I used to be.
Yo,
Wow.
she's 15
Bro,
years old.
15.
And she got a better voice than some grown adults.
Yeah, and the judges, especially Luke Bryan, was like, this is the one.
I think she's the damn winner of American Idol. Period. It's evident what my opinion is. Yes.
Wow, he's calling it
How do
already.
you- like, what do you do with that information after an audition?
15-year-old Casey Bishop from American Idol joins us right now on the Roz Mocha Show. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Got to talk to the contestant who Luke Bryan said is the damn winner. How does that make you feel?
It's crazy. It's still blowing my mind.
So what do you do with that information? Because you crushed your audition, but what do you, when you walk out of that room and you're like, I felt great about myself. I thought I was, everything went well for me, with singing, and I think it came off like somebody that could represent, the Idol brand. But what do you do with that info when you walk out of that room after Luke Bryan just said that you're the damn winner?
I don't know. I mean, just don't let it get to my head and stay on board.
How?
I don't know, man. It was crazy. I couldn't remember the audition or anything that they said until I watched it. Yeah.
So you're only 15 years old, Casey, and you stepped on that stage acting as if you had done this your entire life. Did the nerves get to you at all for that performance?
100%. I don't know how I seemed so calm, but my brain was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Did you like practice in front of anyone prior to hitting the Idol stage, or were you just like constantly practicing just on your own?
Just on my own, and then my family. Pretty much it.
Yeah. Now, those songs, when you did the sort of stripped down version of Motley Crue, like who in your life is the Motley Crue fan, and how did you wind up doing that?
My parents.
Okay.
And I love Motley Crue, and I did hear this version of Live Wire, and it got really stuck in my head, and it was like, I loved it, and so I sang it.
When they tweeted at you that they loved it, how much did your parents freak out? Or on Instagram,
They were going
rather?
nuts.
They were going
I was
nuts.
going nuts.
Yeah. Did they tell you to pin that comment at the top?
Yeah.
So where are you in the process right now? Like, when do you go off to Hollywood?
Hollywood is pre-filmed.
Okay, so you already did Hollywood.
Yes.
Oh,
Can you tell us what song you
Yeah.
sang?
I sadly cannot speak on anything about Hollywood Week until it airs.
Okay.
Did you perform your entire time during Hollywood Week? Did you at any point perform with somebody else that we may know?
No.
No, okay. When you have to, you're in school, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so what grade are you in right now?
I'm in 10th grade.
You're in 10th grade. So when you go to Idol and then they tell you that you're the damn winner, and then you go off and do Hollywood Week, what is that like for you walking back into high school at 10th grade?
I mean, I'm doing Lee Home Connect.
Okay.
But,
okay.
Yeah, but like it's still crazy. They've got my ticket, my golden ticket picture in the school, like and
In the school?
so sweet. I love it. Yeah.
No pressure, Casey. No pressure at all.
Right?
Do your teachers treat you differently now?
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah. Okay. You don't have to tell us who. You
No,
don't.
I'm
Okay.
kidding.
You don't have to tell us who. You don't have to tell us who. Okay. But you're 15, and we know that secrets are incredibly hard to keep. Have you told one person in your life who you know they're a vault and it will never get out, but sometimes you just have to tell somebody what went down? Have you told anybody the details of what went down in Hollywood Week?
Yes.
Okay. Who are they, by the way, and what's their at?
Freaking troll, dude. Casey Bishop, we cannot wait to see what Hollywood Week has for you and for what the rest of Idol has for you. Absolute talent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So Respect Taylor Swift is still trending. This was after fans of Taylor's wrapped up watching Ginny and Georgia on Netflix. And in the final episode of that show, during a conversation about whether one of the characters is still dating somebody. This line happened.
So what, you and Hunter? I'm guessing that's over. What do you care? You go through men faster than Taylor Swift.
Right? So, yeah. So Taylor, after fans just went in on this.
Did Taylor watch it?
Well, I don't know if she watched it, but she said this. Hey, Ginny and Georgia, 2010 called and it wants its lazy, deeply sexist joke back. How about we stop degrading hardworking women by defining this horse crap as funny? Also, Netflix, after Miss America, after Miss Americana, this outfit doesn't look cute on you. Happy Women's History Month, I guess, is what she wrote. It's difficult because... I don't know.
What's Miss Americana again?
Her documentary.
Oh, right. Yeah,
on
yeah,
Netflix.
Yeah.
Right. So she's like, well, hold on a second here.
You guys
I
did
went
this big
through
thing.
I went through all of this
Yeah.
on Netflix, and now you allow this. But I fully understand Taylor Swift. I get it. And you can feel that way and define it that way, and you are not wrong.
Yeah.
But I just wonder, the question that I have is there a difference if this was somebody who was a real life person using a platform to make this same joke, not on a fictionalized show? That's my only question. Only because this is where I just start thinking of where do we go with this. And again, I'm not saying don't respect Taylor. I'm not saying Taylor Swift doesn't have a right to say everything that she said. Absolutely, 1,000%, right? 100%, like everything. But if this is a fictional character, some fictional characters are not good people. Some fictional characters say things that nobody would agree with. Some fictional characters are homicidal maniacs and racists and all of this stuff, right? And they say things in television shows and in movies.
Because they're in character.
Because it's a character. It's the way that the character is written.
Yeah.
Now, I understand, you can say that this is a lazy joke and it's not even funny in the context of a character and all that stuff. Fully agree. But people are now demanding either the episode be pulled or Netflix issues an apology or the two women who wrote the episode should apologize to Taylor. I don't know what to do with that, because if that's the case...
I don't think Netflix...
Because if that's the case, there's a lot of things said in movies that are fictional characters saying things. And I don't know if you can put that kind of responsibility where you then have to write everybody to play by certain rules. I think that you just lose a lot.
Because if Netflix comes out and apologizes to Taylor Swift, right?
Right.
Then do they have to go through and vet every single thing that they have on their platform and look for content that may be offensive to anyone else that a character may mention?
This is what I'm saying.
Right,
you can call it out, right? You can call it out, but you can't say don't do it.
Yeah.
Right? Call it out all you want.
Worse has been
you,
done on Family Guy, and nobody ever pulls any episode on Family Guy.
But
Worse
I think
has been said.
no, but I think that this is because it's Netflix, though. Because this is where
But they've made fun of Taylor Swift on Family Guy.
But I'm saying this is where Taylor Swift's documentary is, where she went through all of this. She's a partner of Netflix, is why this is such a big deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do with that. I don't know when you're dealing with a fictionalized character whether they have to sort of play by rules of not saying certain things.
I don't think Netflix does.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think if Taylor is going to eventually get an apology from anyone, it would have to be the writers of that TV show.
Yeah.
Not Netflix.
But should you, though? Should you have to apologize for that? Like, if you write awful people, or if you write a bad joke for a character to say, because that character says things that are awful, do you have to apologize for that? And I don't know where that ends.
So that should be what these writers of the show, of that episode, of that line, should be saying to Taylor Swift.
Should they have cleared it with their people going?
No, because you can't start that. You can't do that either, though. Like, you can't start
because
clearing
then what?
things.
Now you got to clear jokes that you make about every.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's a good joke. Like, I'm on Taylor's side, right? Like, I'm not saying it's a good joke.
I understand.
She is 100% accurate in her assessment of what that was. 100%.
But then where's the line?
But I just don't know what to do with it when it's a fictional character.
What do you do moving forward?
Yeah, if it's somebody on CNN and they say this, right? Or somebody on a reality show, whatever it is, that's you. That's your responsibility.
Yes.
You are representing your own self. And to say after the fact, oh, I was just joking, that doesn't hold water anymore.
Yeah.
But we're talking about a fictionalized character, and I don't know where that ends.
But then you're going to just feed all
if we go
fictional
down.
characters to have them say what you believe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
You see this guy, this billionaire? So, Japanese billionaire, multi-billionaire is what the article says. Sorry. Yasuka Mizawa. Back in 2018, he bought the rights to SpaceX's first passenger trip to the moon. The amount he paid is estimated to be somewhere in the $250 million range.
No. Just a fly to the moon?
Yeah, so the flight is now scheduled for 2023, and now he's looking for 8 people to join him.
Oh, I'll go.
Okay, well, hold on now. Okay?
Wait, how much do I have to pay?
Well,
I don't have that kind of money.
He's going to pay for everything.
Oh, yeah? I'll go.
Hell no.
Why not?
What am I expected to do on that rocket if this man is paying for my trip to the moon? Well, you know what I mean? Like what are my duties on that rocket if he's paying for the whole thing? So he said, quote,
Like to be a servant or something?
it'll take 3 days to get to the moon.
Yeah. That's a long
Loop
time.
around it, and then 3 days to get back. I will pay for the entire journey. I hope that together we can make it a fun trip. He says that he's looking for 2 main things from the people he chooses. People who want to, quote, push the envelope.
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay. Make a better society, and people who are willing to support others. 2 out of the 3 ain't bad, right?
No,
2
it's
out
the
of
first one, though.
2 out of the 3 ain't bad.
The second and third one.
2 out of the 3 ain't bad. I'm not getting on a rocket with somebody who spent $250 million for my seat, where they say that they're going to cover all costs and that he's just looking for people who are willing to push the
But
envelope.
what about the saying, what happens in space stays in space?
Exactly. That's what I'm worried about.
Push the envelope.
I guess
This
it's
is
push
going
I guess it's push the envelope to what humans can do or what we're capable of and all of this stuff.
No.
But I could just I don't like accepting free stuff from anybody, right? From no one. No one.
Because there's an expectation.
I always feel like I'm going to owe you something. I could never go through with this because I would just feel so indebted that I would be so uncomfortable on that flight because I would feel that I would then be asked to somehow return the gesture, or I would forever be indebted,
Yeah.
or I would
like,
always
hey, remember
have
that
to
time I paid for your flight to space?
yeah, or like, what if the guy's like a huge jerk, and then you get back to Earth, and you can only really say nice things about him? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be in that situation either. Like, even if they came to me and said that we got a seat for you, first of all, I would never get on
Yeah,
a
but hold on,
rocket.
if you push the envelope, then you're in his good books.
I'm not pushing anyone's
No,
envelope.
but here's the thing, though.
Okay, especially
That
in
to
zero
me-
G's.
Yeah, that to me sounds like this guy wants to experiment. Like, I think of the movie Saw, right?
Okay, hold on. I may have overblown this a little bit. Like, I'm not saying the man wants to murder you in space.
Like torture.
No.
I was thinking
no,
more friendly pushing of the envelope.
Yes. What is a friendly pushing of the envelope, Maury?
You know, like, okay, well, we're up there for 3 days. Massage my neck.
Okay, right. That's my
Yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah,
right?
it starts with
That's-
a no gravity
yeah.
massage of the neck.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And maybe I shouldn't even be worried about this guy or what I would owe him. I would be worried about who the other 7 people are that are on there.
Yeah, but
right?
assuming he's
and
going to only pick, people who all get along or look the same.
Why does that matter?
Like it's going to have
Explain
to
yourself, weirdo.
Why does that matter?
Like, I'm assuming they all have to fit his likes and needs.
Like, you want to be up there with Maury clones?
No, like other
all
good-looking
tickling
people.
each other's necks?
Hold on, what do you think?
As a way
that
of payback?
When he
I
says push the
assume that you're
envelope, what are
gonna
you
apply-
thinking? Are you
I-
thinking like sex stuff?
Yes.
Oh, because I wasn't
Wow.
thinking that at all.
I think Roz was.
No, I wasn't. Maury, come on now. Don't drag me into... I was.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So you see the story of this woman that broke into somebody's house and then she got busted because Cheeto dust?
What?
Okay.
No, I didn't.
So there is a woman who's in a house with 2 kids.
Yeah.
And then they call 911 because somebody had cut through their screen and was making their way into the house, right? And then they fled. And then when the cops got there, outside of where the window was, they found a empty bottle of water and an empty bag of Cheetos.
Okay.
Okay. And then when they caught up to somebody who they thought it might have been, they looked at her and she had Cheeto dust in her teeth.
Oh, my God.
Okay. So here, listen to the cop.
They're able to positively identify that person as a suspect. And also we're able to place her at the scene with Cheeto residue all on her teeth and face. That Cheetos bag and water bottle were not theirs, and they think she probably dropped it trying to get out the window. I think we still would have got her without the Cheetos, but the Cheetos is what nailed the deal.
Yeah. Listen,
You're a dumbass burglar.
You can't be up to no good when you're eating Cheetos.
Yeah.
You do leave a trail.
Also,
You leave a trail.
first of all, you shouldn't be burglarizing.
Also, don't eat
people's homes.
Cheetos.
Don't be burglarizing, but don't be snacking right before you burglarize.
Well, listen, desperate times, right? You know? Are Cheetos... Okay, wait, hold on a second here, because I might actually like Cheetos.
Okay.
Are Cheetos the, like, sort of gnarly-looking, crunchier ones?
Yes.
Okay, those are Cheetos.
Correct.
The
What
other
were you
ones
confusing
are
them with?
Cheese balls
Cheesies.
or cheesies?
Cheesies and Cheetos are different.
Cheesies are the ones that look like little tiny
Little fingers,
little
orange fingers, right? Okay. Or toes, depending.
Gross.
What? No? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? What am I wrong about, Shem? Hold on. Because I think that I like Cheetos.
Okay, so the ones with the fingers
Yeah.
are Cheetos, bigger, and the crunchy ones are a version of Cheetos, but they're just called crunchy.
Okay, but what are cheesies then?
Oh, aren't cheesies crackers?
No.
You're thinking of Cheez-Its.
No, cheesies are the round edge, okay?
But Cheetos
thicker.
Right, but Cheetos are
thick-
also that.
Thicker. Hold on now.
Funny, man.
Oh, yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Cheesies and Cheetos are the same thing. Sorry, not the exact same brand, but they competing brands.
Okay.
But they're the same.
Really?
Yeah.
So what are the ones I'm thinking of then? What ones do I like?
The crunchy ones?
Cheese.
They're like
skinnier. They're skinnier.
Here,
Okay,
look.
yeah. Okay, hold on here.
Google image
Jesus
to the rescue.
I have no idea what I'm doing here. Okay, so
You know how to use
cheesy.
Google?
Okay, cheesies are the roundier, sort of thicker ones,
Yeah.
right? Those are cheesies.
Yeah.
Okay, now show me Cheetos.
And then Cheetos. Cheetos are like these ones here.
Hold on. Am I like this is like a Mandela effect here? Like the thing that I enjoy does not exist? Hold on here. Why does everything look the same? Okay, no. That's Cheetos Cheese Puffs. That's just like cheesies. But what are the things that I'm thinking of?
I don't know. I'm not in your
They're
brain.
gnarly ones. They have like bumps on them. They're not smooth.
Yes.
They're long. They look like a
cheese sticks.
What? No, not cheese sticks. No. I'm
guarantee it's the
telling you.
crunchy ones.
Hold on. Okay, it looks like an orange bone. Okay, like in the end of it, sometimes looks like a knuckle. Like they're just like bumps on them and everything else. What are those things called? Not cheesies. Obviously not Cheetos. I thought they were Cheetos the whole time. What are they called?
No, I think those are Cheetos. I think they have, or no, are those cheesies? Man,
What are they
I don't
called?
Need enough of this stuff. I
We
don't
got
know.
5 people in the room. No, I'm not thinking of cheese sticks.
These ones?
Yeah,
Cheetos
what's
Crunchy.
that?
Those are Cheetos,
Cheetos
crunchy.
That's what I said.
No,
Hold
but
on,
you're
no.
not thinking of Cheetos Crunchy.
Yes, I am. That's exactly. Look at the
But
picture.
now look up cheese sticks.
What is a cheese stick? If you're trolling me right now, Maury, and this is going to be some vile thing that you discovered
No, I'll
years
pause
ago,
for your apology.
I just wrote cheese vial. Cheese.
No, when I type in cheese stick, I get like
I get mozzarella sticks.
Oh,
Yeah, I get mozzarella.
S-I-X?
Well,
Yeah, I
that's
get
what you have
matzo
to-
sticks.
Bro, you have to be specific. I can't believe you're spending all this time talking about this.
Your cheese sticks. I just did cheese sticks, and it's mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like deep fried mozzarella in panko. I just did cheese sticks. Look.
Yo, these look delicious though, huh?
But put in crunchy. Write the word crunchy.
Crunchy?
You never said crunchy.
No, but I'm
also,
trying
too
to
much
get
time
you
on
to
this.
find
Okay.
the Google image of what I'm talking
Okay, now they're just deep fried. Now it's deep fried cheese with panko.
Correct answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now go to okay. Jesus.
Now Google crunchy
Okay.
cheese sticks.
That
look
is
like
not
Cheetos.
what I. No, that's not what I'm thinking of. No, that's not it.
Thanks for the
That's
waste of
not
time.
it. Also, I don't know. I've never heard of a chip company called Hers with 2 R's, Maury. They are gluten free though.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello, Roz Mocha. Who's this?
Oh, hi, this is Rowan. You're killing me with this Cheetos conversation.
Why, you love Cheetos?
No, I got to set it straight.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Did we not? I thought we did. Go ahead though.
Okay, so Cheetos has 2 different types of Cheetos.
Okay.
Cheetos Puffs is like the one that looks like a smooth finger. It's kind of puffy.
Yeah.
And then you got like Cheetos Crunchy. That's like the little wiggly, crunchy worm that looks like a knuckle at the end, like you said.
Yes.
So you like the crunchy Cheetos.
Thank
Some
you.
people like puffy Cheetos. That's it.
Thank you. Now that I'm going down deep into the world of crunchy Cheetos, there's a lot of people who have posted pictures of Cheetos that look like other things. So there's a lot of Cheetos that look like a boot. There's a lot of Cheetos that look like a dragon, and then the rest of them all look like tiny little orange penises. There's a lot of people who have saved Cheetos that look like tiny little orange penises.
Don't need you to share your screen with me right now. Thank you very much, sir. Yo, Rowan, you're the man. Thanks so much, bro.
Hey, thanks a lot.
All right, dude.
Later.
All right, Roz Mocha, what do you want to say?
Hi. So Cheetos is the brand. That's why it's confusing. Roz likes the crunchy Cheetos, and then the other ones are cheesies, which are the puffy ones.
Right. I don't like the puffy ones.
Yeah, so you like the crunchy Cheetos, and there's like
Yes.
flaming hot crunchy Cheetos, but Cheetos is the brand.
Oh, gotcha. So it's not the actual thing.
No, it's not the actual thing. It's a brand like Ruffles or Lay's.
Gotcha. And I think that the crunchy ones are the far superior cheese snack to cheesies. To me,
Oh, I would say so, yeah.
cheesies aren't satisfying at all. Crunchy are so much
I don't really
much
eat
better.
those. Like, I've had them before.
No, but
I've
if
had
you
all the
have-
different variations, and the crunchy one, if I were to choose, is my favorite.
No, if you have the soft one, you could suck the cheese off.
No, that's disgusting.
Ew.
That's no. Well, I don't want to watch that pop out of no.
No, but if you just
No.
right, you're missing my
No, because then it
point.
gets soggy, and then you got to
No,
eat
but if you just
something
rest
that's
it in your mouth for a while and let the
Stop
cheese
it.
come off.
No. Because then you get no. Because then what do you do with the
No.
soggy part? You're either going to eat it wet, right? Like eat a soggy cheesy,
Yeah,
which
gross.
nobody wants that.
Or spit it out.
No.
You're disgusting.
No, Maury.
No, Roxy used to eat cheesies like a corn on the cob, where she would bite all the cheese stuff off it and swirl it around, and then eat the skinny little part with no cheese on it in the middle that
Really?
was left over. Yeah, it was.
Do you mix it in a bowl sometimes if guests come over with other things like M&Ms?
No, I have. First of all, I don't have.
That's
I
disgusting.
don't have people over to the house, and if I do, they don't get snacks.
So hospitable.
Yeah.
What's your name on the phone?
My name is Gloria.
Thank you so much, Laura. You have a great day.
Can I say one other thing?
Yeah.
Roz, you're my favorite. I love you so much.
Well, I didn't ask, so.
Sorry.
It doesn't count.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, the rules are you just can't shout out the answer. You have to be asked.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Great.
It's okay.
I do love you, Roz. I'm sorry.
I love you too.
All right, bye.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
WandaVision and Agatha all along. So as soon as that song drops, spoiler alert, by the way.
Whatever. It's the hottest show out. If you haven't watched it, your fault. All right?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it.
So they released the clip of Agatha all along, which was the sort of faux intro to the show within the show within the show. And it was awesome. It was a great twist.
Messing up everything. It's been Agatha all along. Who's been pulling every evil string? It's been Agatha all along.
So good, dude.
So the whole thing is, I guess it's like a minute long, and fans had been begging for it to be released as an actual single.
Oh, dope!
And I guess they did, and yesterday it landed at number 36 on the digital charts on Billboard.
Sick. It's been Agatha all along.
Right?
She made it happen.
So the finale's on Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow. Midnight
Tomorrow,
it
yeah,
drops.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I know I say this like every single week.
Yeah.
That I'm going to get in here nice and early to watch it before the show starts.
Right.
So tomorrow may be the day.
And we don't know I don't think there's going to even be a second season. I haven't heard any announcements of that. I think this is a one and done.
Yeah.
I think this is
I'm
part
okay
of
with
their
that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
yeah.
it. Because next we get Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And then right after that we get Loki.
Right, because
all on Disney Plus.
Because if you keep going through seasons of this, then it's inevitable that you're going to wind up ruining your own timeline.
Yeah.
With the way that all these individual shows are supposed to interact with the theatrical films.
Mhm.
Like you can't run WandaVision for 4 seasons because of the
Unless-
time it takes to film them. you can't jump that. You can't go back and forth
unless
and have things match.
One of the big rumors for WandaVision over the past, I guess, 7 weeks now is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange.
Right.
Will Doctor Strange be introduced into this to incorporate some sort of multiverse to tie in some of the other shows? Who knows? Or
Right.
some of the other timelines? Who knows?
Right.
So I don't know if
That's
that's going to happen. But then you kind of work yourself into like an even bigger universe if you decide to continue with the series, right?
Yeah, and then you wind up getting into, and I don't want to get like super nerdy and stuff like this, but you wind up crossing into almost DC territory, where in the DC world, you have like 2 different Joker franchises, 2 different Batman franchises, and it's kind of messy, right? Like you don't want to get too deep into that world. But anyway, finale is tomorrow. And Agatha All Along is an actual chart topper now.
This is my favorite remix that was done by a producer in Chicago. He just put a hype beat behind it. I wonder if this had anything to do with it.
I'm sure that's something to do with it.
Getting popular, or as popular. But the song's now officially on Billboard. Oh, so good.
So let me read you this real quick.
Yeah.
This is from Matt Shackman. Who is that, Maury? The director of WandaVision. They asked him about season 2. They said, "Is season 2 is something you'd be excited about? Would you participate?" And he goes, "I love working at Marvel. It's the best place in the world. They're so great with filmmakers, and I've had such a great journey with the show. We have no plans for WandaVision season 2 at all. That could change, of course. It all depends on what's the story. We were very focused on telling this story over 9 episodes and hopefully coming to a conclusion that feels satisfying and also surprising. So, yeah, so I don't think a season 2's happening."
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
This guy in Connecticut discovered that a small porcelain bowl that he bought at a yard sale. I don't know exactly when he bought this, but he bought it for $35. It turns out to be...
That's an expensive yard sale purchase.
Yeah. I guess it looks beautiful. It turns out that this is now a 15th century Chinese artifact worth up to $500,000.
Yeah.
So
you got to give that back.
Obviously, well, give it back to the people.
Yeah.
What if they're not around anymore?
Well,
Or what if you
maybe,
bought it
okay,
like
I
in a
don't
different state?
Yeah. Yeah, I find it dishonest. Okay, so maybe let me change that. I find it slightly dishonest when somebody finds something either at a yard sale or whatever it is, where they know its true value, and then they scoop it up for $5, and then they turn around.
That's trickery.
He didn't know.
If
though,
he
correct?
didn't know,
yeah,
then I say that if he decides to sell it or whatever and get that $500,000, he gets to keep it.
This happens at yard sales often with paintings, where it ends up being a famous painting, and they make
I don't
millions
know
on
how
it.
often that actually
I
happens.
can't remember the last time I
though.
heard that. I remember one time my buddy Carlo went to a yard sale. He was just driving by.
Yeah.
And he saw somebody was selling like a stereo set. And it was like $80.
Right.
Right? But it was a massive set. And like with big speakers and everything.
Yeah, but who wants that?
And no, he bought it, but it was like pretty much brand new.
Yeah.
And he bought it off like, I don't know, some old couple or something.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And ever since he told me about that, on the weekends, I would drive around looking for yard sales to see if I could score like any cool stereo equipment or just something cool that would be of value. Like
I do
to
this
me.
for the painting thing. There was a painting that was there's a whole documentary on somebody who went to a yard sale, bought a painting. It was a Jackson Pollock, and they sold it for $15 million.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't happen all the time, though.
Because people aren't looking hard enough.
Well, no, because what you have, there's so many people now. Like the world of Etsy and the world of online and people opening up their own boutiques, people are now so in tune with what is of value that it's becoming very difficult to find anything at a yard sale that is like that sort of hidden treasure. Like it used to be very like Antiques Roadshow. Remember that show, Antiques Roadshow?
It's still on.
Is it still on?
Yes.
Where people would show up and these two British guys and they'd be like, well, my dad got this at like a yard sale in wherever when he was 22 and he thought that it was worth something and then he just, gave it to me after he died. What's it worth? And they're like $2.5 million.
Yeah.
Right? Or they go, it's actually made of cigarette ashes and it's worth nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
Throw it away.
You throw it away. It's garbage.
So this guy in Connecticut who bought a small porcelain bowl for $35.
Yeah.
Turns out it's a rare 15th century Chinese artifact worth up to $500,000.
Oof.
Now, the head of the Chinese Works Department says that there are 6 other bowls in the entire world.
Ugh.
Most of them are in museums.
That's when somebody comes to you and they go, and also it was stolen.
Yeah.
So give it back.
Yeah, I want it back.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello?
Brandy, it's Roz Mocha. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Your husband actually has been texting us like crazy, asking for us to give you a call today.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I mean, technically my wife, but it's all good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
No
apologize. I just
worries.
made that assumption. That's dumb. I
Yeah,
apologize.
no, it's all good.
I feel really bad now. I'm so sorry.
Nah.
Don't feel bad. Don't
so,
feel bad.
So what's your plan? Because it's really tough. We've talked to so many people who have gone through anniversaries and birthdays during all this COVID, and it's just real tough. Like, so what do you guys have planned?
Honestly, just like relaxing. We're a day apart, like same year, same hospital, so it's pretty crazy.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Hold on a
Yeah.
second. Hold on a second. You wound up with somebody who was born in the same hospital a day apart from you?
Yeah, like 15 hours apart. So her birthday was
No.
yesterday. Yeah.
No.
That is
Dude,
crazy.
like-
Hold on. You didn't even text us for her birthday.
You know what?
Hold on a second.
I told her this was the only thing I wanted for my birthday. So
This is mind blowing. Now. Did your mums know each other?
no, they're actually like I think maybe like 20 years apart in age. So
But like, have you not sat them down and went, did you not remember? Like, I know things are crazy, but did you see her in the hallway? Like, I'm wondering if there's a chance that your pregnant mums like walked down the hall doing breathing exercises and passed each other.
it could be possible.
So being born in the same hospital a day apart, like, did you guys grow up in the same city, in the same neighborhood at all? Like, when did you guys meet and how did you meet?
We met in high school in grade 9. And then she ended up leaving a year later. And then we reconnected after high school. And we have just been together for 8 years. And we got married last September during COVID.
And did you guys, when did you each come out to your parents? Was that around the same time too, or?
Actually, no, not really. So her parents knew for like ever. My parents kind of like, they knew we were dating and like, I didn't know if they knew and it was awkward. And then next thing you know, like 5 years later, I'm engaged and I'm like, I have to tell them now. So
You think?
like a couple days before Christmas, I was like crying because I was so scared. I was like, I'm engaged. So, and it went well. They love her more than me, I think. So
Wow.
Brandy, I was listening to, I don't know if you guys know This American Life, the podcast, and they had an episode of all coincidences, right? And much like your story, Brandy, there was one couple that met. They're the same age. They were both born on the same day in the same hospital, just on different floors.
wow, no kidding.
See, I would be convinced. I'm such a conspiratory individual. Like, that's where my head goes. I would be convinced that there's a chance that this person might be my sibling and we were like separated. Like my mom had twins and nobody told her.
Right,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And then they separated us there. And then I wound up growing up and falling in love with my brother. You know what I mean?
I was living in an apartment building.
Yeah.
Matthew, my current husband, was also dating somebody in the
Current?
same apartment
Yeah.
building before
Current.
meeting me.
Current.
Having multiple?
Did I say current?
My current husband.
You know what? You say it so much, you didn't even realize you just said it. Yo, Brandy, much love to you. Thank you very much for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show. Happy birthday. Happiest of birthdays.
Can I tell you a joke?
You. Sure.
Okay, what goes up but never comes down?
I don't know.
Your age.
Your age.
Oh, can you guys ask me the question though? I've been thinking very
care
long
about you,
and
bro.
hard on this.
You got to bounce for
Yeah,
it.
you got.
Yo, Brandy, before we let you go, between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
Okay, it is Roz. But hear me out. Mocha, you're like so bubbly and happy and your laugh is like super contagious. But the way that Roz rips into Maury reminds me of how I rip into my own friends. So like I respect that. But it was very close.
Oh, she hates you, dog.
You're the best. Happy birthday from everybody at the Roz and Mocha Show.
Later.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is... Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Yo, Sam, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Hi, Mocha. Hi, Roz.
Roz and Mocha, hello, hello. Welcome to Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life. We're going to try our best here. What's your situation?
How do I not be a naggy and high maintenance girlfriend?
How do I not be a naggy and high maintenance girlfriend? Jesus. So you wrote us this, Roz and Mocha Fix My Life. I am no means in a toxic, unfaithful relationship. I'm very much in love in a healthy relationship with probably the best guy in the world. What really gets in the way, I suspect, is my own worries, overthinking, and overanalyzing. How can I feel secure in that relationship and ensure that I'm not sabotaging everything that is good? How do I not be a naggy, high-maintenance girlfriend? Do you think you're naggy, or is he called you naggy?
It's me.
It's
he
you.
doesn't.
Okay.
Yes. He actually tells me that whenever I feel like something's not right or I don't feel good, to tell him. But I think I always take that more personally. Like, I don't want to ever come off as that.
So what do you think you're naggy about?
So it's like things like he does have a little bit of trouble, like being on time, even when we're doing just calls and stuff, or like things that he said he wants me to make sure he gets done, he doesn't get done. And then I don't want to be like, there's sometimes when we call and it feels like I'm just checking in on homework, which I really don't like. So then when he doesn't get it done, I'm like, then I don't really know what to do. Like, should I be calling him out on his crap, or should I be, letting him go and finding himself? Because that's the part that I find difficult.
But if you don't say anything, then it's going to bother you that you didn't say anything, or that thing that you're thinking about wasn't done or wasn't said or wasn't done properly, right?
Right. Because, especially in the long run, and I hear this a lot from people who have long-term relationships, that little things will build up, and I really don't want that either. So,
have you ever been in a relationship before where the person you were in a relationship was that way with you?
No, actually, he's my first relationship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I haven't. I've only had maybe from friends that tell me that, and just hearing. Yeah.
Do you find that you are sort of giving him space to grow and are a little bit naggy because you're perfect?
I don't.
Wow.
Well, that's really straight to the point. Probably, I don't think I'm perfect, but I'm pretty sure maybe my parents.
The answer is no. The answer is no. Your answer should be no.
No.
Okay. It took you a long time to get to that. That's an easy question to answer.
Yes.
Okay. I think that oftentimes nagging is a symptom of something else that's maybe a bit more emotional that's going on in the relationship, and it sort of manifests itself as nagging. I don't often think that a huge blowout about a towel is an actual huge blowout about a towel.
Right.
It's something else.
Yeah, I don't
there's
know
something else going on.
Sam is necessarily naggy or high maintenance. I just think that you're very particular, and you want your boyfriend to be just as particular.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
So you want him to be perfect like you?
No. He was already perfect for me, right?
No.
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
So why are you talking to us about it?
Okay, no. I'll tell you something about guys. Guys, there's subtle differences between men and women, and the one thing that guys don't respond well to is they don't have a problem doing their part. Okay, but what they have a problem with is taking orders.
Yeah.
And when the job comes down from you in a naggy sort of way, using your words, what's the reward for doing that thing? Because if the reward for doing that thing is only that you're not going to nag about that but something else, that's no incentive to do the thing. Like
Yep.
you can't nag expecting him to do something, and then when he does it, there's sort of the only recognition that he gets from that is that you no longer nag him about that thing, but then you're just going to move on. You're just going to move on to something else.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. So
Yeah.
you have to figure out why this stuff exists in your relationship, why these little things set you off, and you almost compulsively can't help yourself but to bring it up, because it sounds like when you're doing these things that you don't want to do, like as you're doing them, you realize that you don't want to be doing them, but for some weird reason, you just continue to do it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That you got to figure out what that is. That's because that's not about vacuuming. That's about something else.
Yeah, that's why I think it's more about myself, more about thinking about what is going on behind all that.
This is where being in a couple is fantastic, because none of these things, okay, I think that if you look at your relationship and everything that you have going on and everything that he has going on, okay, these are not you problems and him problems. You guys have to realize that whatever you have going on, this is something that the two of you need to figure out. Okay. Whatever he has going on, this is something that the two of you need to figure out. There is no, I got to work on myself. Okay. It's you guys both work on that together. That's the job.
Yeah.
That's why you're there for each other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. This isn't
Yeah.
two individuals. This is, you guys have to look at each other, and you are this, unit. And if there's things that are slowly tearing you apart or keeping you up at night, and it's just these frivolous things, you guys as a collective, as a couple, have to figure out why that is.
Yeah.
Does that
Yeah,
offer a little bit of clarity, Sam?
Yeah, that does. It's very comforting, actually. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh
very
my God,
nice.
stop
Yeah.
nagging us. Jeez. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll try, but I'm perfect. So,
Exactly.
Oh, sure say. You're like, Roz, perfect. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life
On Kiss.
All right, news time. Hey, Mocha.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Of course.
Let's do the news.
A Roz and Mocha Show and Kiss 92.5 News Break.
Paris Hilton was on her podcast with her sister, Nikki Hilton. And Paris Hilton has sort of gone through this big change ever since that documentary came out, and doesn't sound like her, doesn't talk like her, and the sort of act is down, and the real Paris has emerged, and I like her. I think she's great. But so they were discussing the 2007 MTV Awards, where Paris was just on her way to prison for probation violation, and she was in the audience, and Sarah Silverman, this is another Sarah Silverman, because if you remember, Sarah Silverman's name came back up with Britney Spears because of everything she said about Britney on MTV.
So being a bad mom and stuff, right?
Yeah. So this is Sarah Silverman from 2007 at the MTV Awards.
Paris Hilton is going to jail. I heard that to make her feel like more comfortable in prison, the guards are gonna paint the bars to look like I just worry that she's gonna break her teeth on those things.
Right. So then this is Paris and Nikki Hilton yesterday talking about what that felt like to be in that room, because Paris was sitting
what
there.
Sarah Silverman did was so disgusting and so cruel and mean. And I was so shocked and surprised because I had actually met her a few years before when I was at an event, and she couldn't be nicer, so sweet. And then to see her again, I was obviously very nervous. I went to the MTV Awards. I knew I was about to check myself into jail in a couple hours, and just getting all dressed up, going there. I'd, made this
trying to put on a brave face.
Yeah, trying to be brave, and then just to sit in the audience with her, just literally just publicly humiliating me, being so mean, so cruel. I was sitting there wanting to die. I was trying to hold back my tears so hard. I had tears welling up in my eyes. I literally wanted to run out of the entire room, but I just was trying to be strong and just sit there and the whole audience is laughing, and she's just up there.
She wouldn't stop.
Would not stop. It was so painful, especially what I was going through in my life. to then have someone just being so mean about it was really hard.
So Sarah Silverman in 2010 did talk about this. She didn't apologize, but she explained what that was like from her perspective.
So then there's Paris Hilton, and I said, Paris Hilton is going to jail. That was the setup. And before I could say the punchline, the whole audience went, yeah! You know, and the camera went on Paris, and like the lion in the stadium and the gladiator thing, it was like so evil. Like the whole crowd just went mad, like just crazy. And it was so mean, you know. That was what was mean about that joke. And the camera's on her, and it was humiliating, and my heart broke, but I was in the middle of a joke, and I had to say the punchline. There was no way I was going to abandon ship for this girl.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So that's Sarah Silverman's explanation for that.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Quickly, Chris Cuomo has finally addressed his brother Andrew's sexual harassment scandal. So if you remember at the beginning of the pandemic, Chris and Andrew, Chris on CNN, his brother, the governor of New York, they would do these like banters back and forth on CNN. Yeah. Call mom likes you better. And everybody was loving Andrew Cuomo. So now a third woman has come out to accuse him of being sexually inappropriate towards them, two employees and one woman that he met at a wedding. In a statement issued on Sunday, he had said, "I now understand that my interactions may have been insensitive or too personal, and that some of my comments, given my position, made others feel in a way I never intended." But the thing that people were talking about is Chris Cuomo on CNN has been silent about this. None of it, and nothing. He won't even touch on the investigation that's going into his brother with regards to the numbers of deaths and the cover-up at the old age homes in New York State. So Chris Cuomo finally addresses it last night.
Obviously, I'm aware of what's going on with my brother, and obviously, I cannot cover it because he is my brother. Now, of course, CNN has to cover it. They have covered it extensively, and they will continue to do so. I have always cared very deeply about these issues, and profoundly so. I just wanted to tell you that.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
According to Texas Governor Greg Abbott, it is now time to open Texas 100%. He goes on to say, everybody who wants to work should have the opportunity. Every business that wants to be open should be open. He pointed out that Texas' abundance of PPE, testing capabilities, and that, quote, Texans have mastered the daily habits to avoid getting COVID-19. Goes on to say, but most importantly, now in Texas and across the country, we have vaccines to protect Texans from COVID-19. However, less than 7% of Texans have been fully vaccinated, and health experts say that it is too soon for Abbott to remove restrictions 100%. But as it is right now, Texas is 100% open, no masks needed.
Wow.
Yep.
You idiots.
So there you go.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Instagram yesterday, they started testing out the removing of seeing how many likes a photo gets when you're scrolling through in countries other than the U.S. So I've had that on my phone for a year now, where if I look at your picture, I can't see how many likes it got.
Oh, yeah, where it just says...
it says one person's name and others, right?
Yeah.
That's all it says. But
you as a user, you can go in, on your own account, I think you can still see.
On your own, you can.
So are they saying now that on your own account you can't?
No. So what happened was like in Canada, this was a very normal thing because they had been rolling this out. Because if you remember, in 2019, the Instagram said this: we want our followers to focus on what you share, not how many likes you get. During this test, only you will be able to see the total number of likes on your posts.
Right.
So they rolled this out all over the U.S. yesterday. and people started going crazy because they're going through what we all went through last year or in 2019. However, Instagram came out and said this: we've been testing a new experience to hide likes on posts. We unintentionally added more people to the test today, which was a bug. We're fixing the issue and restoring the like counts to people as soon as possible. So they screwed up yesterday in the States by rolling it out that
But
far.
that also means that the states will be getting that feature
They
soon.
will be, yes, Maury.
I'm just so grateful this has never happened to me.
You have not, it doesn't affect you at all?
Not at all.
Really?
And I've done updates too.
So if you go on like Mocha's Instagram, you can see how many likes his pictures have?
1,000%, and on my
Really?
own.
Really?
Without having to go into the insights. I could just see everything.
Interesting. Yeah, well,
They
I mean,
know
I've-
not to mess with somebody who loves the likes.
Yeah, no, it's you're the exact person who needs it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Snooki's back filming Jersey Shore.
Oh, yeah!
They were seen in a
People
restaurant.
I know who watch that show are very excited.
There was a photo that was released. TMZ got their hands on it of Snooki and Angelina at a restaurant shooting.
They're doing a sit down.
I guess that's
People
what it looked
I know
like.
who watch that show
That's what
had
it
a
looks
feeling
like.
Snooki was going to come back,
If you're-
especially the way this latest season kind of played out.
Yeah.
Hey, Shem watched the show too. Was this last Thursday? People I know who watch the show said that I think last Thursday was the finale, right?
People who watch the show.
It was. People I know who watch that show are going to be very disappointed. They had nothing to watch on Thursday nights.
And as I'm sure you don't know, but others do,
Mm-hmm.
back in December 2019, Snooki swore off Jersey Shore.
She did.
Wanted nothing to do with it. She even turned down a spin-off
I know.
at the time.
This person who I know that watches the show forwarded
Yeah.
me the article
Okay.
and the tweet.
Cool.
I'm going to let him know the good news. He'll be very happy.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
DaBaby is...
Rapping the exact same again?
Well, no. So
Oh.
what happened is that DaBaby rented a house in L.A. from a 64-year-old named Gary Pager. And he now says that when he showed up at the house, Gary Pager, that he was beat, punched, spit on, threatened, shoved, and robbed by DaBaby's associates. So he said that he rented the home to DaBaby for the purposes of, quote, a private vacation with 9 friends. When he showed up at the house, DaBaby had 40 people there shooting a music video inside.
Oh, my God.
So when he asked them to leave, DaBaby's guys jumped him. It's all on video,
Yeah.
dragging him around the driveway and stuff. He said that when he asked them to leave, one of DaBaby's larger associates punched him and knocked his tooth out. And then all day during the video shoot, like Jake Paul was there doing the video with him. He
Oh, my
didn't get
God.
involved in any of this, apparently. But so all day inside that house, everybody was on social media from inside this guy's house that he rented to DaBaby. And all these videos are like inside the house, there was just tables and tables and tables of guns.
Oh, my God.
That I guess they were using for the video shoot or whatever it was. But he showed up and asked them to leave, and then they
I
beat
wonder
him-
if it was like
and then
neighbors
they-
that tipped him off.
and then they beat him up.
And
Who
we're like, you
knows?
got all these people at your crib.
Maybe.
Oh, man.
Might be.
Lawsuit.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Tom Brady was on with James Corden and talking about during that Super Bowl party because they couldn't do the parade, so they had them on boats out in Florida, and fans could just like wave at them and everything else. And Tom Brady was absolutely trashed. And there was that video of Tom Brady throwing the trophy from one boat, his boat, to another boat, like over water, like throwing it like a football. And everybody's just like heart skipped a beat when that happened. But this is Tom Brady explaining it to James Corden.
Was there any bit of you thinking, what do I do if this goes in the water?
Okay, first of all, I was not thinking at that moment. There was not a thought.
Yeah.
It was, this seems like really fun to do. And not to mention, when you get your hands on one of those trophies, there are a lot of really sharp edges on the bottom, you know, where the stand is. Obviously, the ball is what it is. And then I found out later that had that been an incomplete pass, that would have went down like 80 feet.
You're never seeing it again.
So,
You know, if it went into the water, right?
Yeah.
One of those drunk football players would have thought that they could go in and get it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Tom Brady, though, very different when football season isn't happening, huh?
Yeah.
Very different. Like, talks different. Everything.
Oh, yeah, he's not in the zone anymore.
No.
He doesn't need to be. He's not focused.
Tom Brady in the zone is very different than Tom Brady out of the zone.
Now he's just like regular dad Tom, regular husband Tom.
Yeah, now the body makes sense, right? You know what I mean?
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Dolly Parton, the Queen Dolly Parton, got her first dose of the Moderna vaccination yesterday at the Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville. Now, in her caption of the video she posted, she said, Dolly gets a dose of her own medicine. This is because, if you remember, Dolly donated $1 million last year to coronavirus research, and she found out that her money went towards funding the Moderna research.
When you started this story, right?
Yeah.
Friendly request from me.
Yes.
When you're talking about a celebrity, when you say the name, say the story immediately after, because it's much like Twitter. When I see a name trending, I'm like, oh my God, they got COVID, or oh my God, they died.
No, she got the vaccination, and she helped pay for it. This is a little bit of Dolly.
Vaccine, 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 vaccine. I'm begging of you, please don't hesitate. Vaccine, 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 vaccine. 'Cause once you're dead, then that's a bit too late.
No, she's still got a beautiful voice, huh?
Dolly Parton's 75 years old, and a lot of people are saying, hey, listen, you kicked in $1 million for research on the Moderna vaccine. Why did it take so long for you to get it? And Dolly said that she didn't want it to look like that she was jumping the line just because she donated money.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
One of these lists came out of things that happen in your life that make you feel like a grown-up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come in here more.
The grown-ups here.
So how old were you when you finally felt grown up? And this question has been asked in multiple studies and surveys. They talked to 1,700 people and asked that question. And the number one answer was actually, I don't feel grown up yet.
What?
So what are some of the things that you think in your life that you've hit where you get that feeling of I'm grown up?
I
I'm a
actually
grown-up.
felt kind of grown up yesterday when I realized that...
Just yesterday. Wow.
Interesting.
Almost 50
You're
years
married.
old.
No, but I closed the bathroom door and it was like, oh
Almost
my God,
50
we have
years
two
old.
bathrooms. I felt very grown up because we had two bathrooms.
Fair enough. Not on the list. Name me something else.
I would say-
an event in life where people think to themselves,
Marriage.
man, I
Marriage.
feel grown up.
When you move out on your own.
Moving out of your parents' house is number 3 on the list.
Oh, what about getting your license?
Getting your driver's license is number 10 on the list.
When you go to a bar and you ask for the usual and they know what you mean.
No.
Like a regular at a bar.
No.
What
Go
about
ahead.
Paying a mortgage or rent.
Owning a home is actually number 1 on the list.
Mowing a lawn.
No. Owning a home is number 1. Now, getting your driver's license was number 10. Here's the shocker. Number 9 was having kids.
That's when you feel like you're grown up?
Yeah, that seems low on the list to me.
Oh, then is divorce on there?
No. Planning your meals out in advance is number 8.
Oh, yeah, we do that in our house.
Knowing your credit score is number 7.
Uh-huh.
I don't know mine.
Getting married, Maury, is number 6. Graduating from high school is number 5.
Oh, wow.
Worrying about bills and finding ways to save is number 4.
Yeah.
Moving out of your parents' house is number 3. Getting your first full-time job is number 2.
Oh, yeah, I can
then,
see that.
And then finally, number 1 on the list is owning a home. So yes, Mocha, paying.
Do you know your
paying a
credit
mortgage.
score?
I do.
Oh, how do you find that out?
You have to go on.
Clearly
yeah,
not.
clear.
You're not an adult if you don't know that yet.
Give me your. I need your PIN number. And
your social insurance number.
And your social insurance number. And
Just
I'm just
email
gonna,
it.
Yeah, and I'm just going to confirm your address. just email that to me, okay? And I'll get it for you tomorrow. Don't worry about it.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Drake announced the release of Scary Hours 2 that will happen at midnight. This will be the first single since Laugh Now, Cry Later, which was last August. The second single off his upcoming Certified Lover Boy. So you excited for this?
Yeah, the last time Scary Hours, so he dropped like a 2-single Scary Hours, I guess, an EP or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Right before he dropped Scorpion. And the first time he dropped Scary Hours, God's Plan was on there.
Right.
So that was one of 2 songs. So I don't know how many songs, if this is going to be an actual single, or if the Scary Hours 2, if this is going to have a couple of songs on there, and like one of them will be like the official single and will appear on Certified Lover Boy, or it's going to be completely separate.
Right. But it sounds like his knee's doing better.
I would say so. Yo, he shot the music video for either this new song or something from this album or something from Certified Lover Boy. He shot it downtown Toronto, like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, man. I'm real excited because I'm a big Drake fan.
So we'll get that at midnight, and we'll have that for you, I guess, tomorrow, right?
Hell
like
yeah.
24 hours?
Yeah, man.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
They did a survey on which sports have the angriest fans. And what they did was they analyzed Twitter on days when major sporting events are happening, and they searched for certain buzzwords like wow and angry and mad.
Easy. They could have just asked me. I would have given them the answer.
And emojis, which emojis were used. And so they've come up with a list of the top 10 angriest sports fans according to the way that they tweet during pivotal moments of those games.
Oh, football's got to be number 1.
Like NFL?
Yeah.
Number 4.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Football?
Number
NFL?
4. Number 4.
Okay, what about soccer, or as they say in the UK, football?
Number 2.
Football's number 2?
Yeah, number 2.
Oh my God, dude, is wrestling number 1?
Wrestling's not on the list. So cricket is 13. Tennis is at 12. NBA is at 10.
Wow.
Cycling is 11. At number 6 is a tie between NHL and Formula One with competitive darts.
Hold on, cycling is higher and darts are higher than the NBA?
Yes.
So crazy.
Yes. So NFL, Formula One, and competitive darts are all tied for number 6 for having the angriest fans on Twitter. Boxing is number 5. NFL is number 4.
Yeah.
Soccer is number 2.
Football. Oh, bowling. Is bowling number 1?
No, bowling's not number 1.
What did you not mention? Oh, is it going to be something weird?
Like golf?
No, golf's not on the list.
Golf's number 1.
It's going to be... Golf is number 1?
Golf is number 1.
For angriest fans?
For angriest fans.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. 42% of all tweets about golf were classified as angry comments.
What?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's actually shocking.
There's some angry golf fans out there.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Adam Levine is absolutely getting destroyed on social media right now.
Why?
So he did a big interview with Zane Lowe on Apple Music.
Yeah.
And he had said that he finds it sad that there's no bands anymore. He said it's funny. When the first Maroon 5 album came out, there were still bands. I feel like there aren't any bands anymore, you know? That's the thing that makes me kind of sad is that there were just bands. There's no bands anymore, and I feel like they're a dying breed. I mean, there's still plenty of bands, and maybe they're just not in the limelight quite as much or in the pop limelight, but I wish that there could be more of those around, more bands.
Wow.
And everybody's going in on it for 2 different things. One, people in bands are tweeting at him. Like,
hey, what about us?
Well, the rock group Eve 6 tweeted at him and said, Adam Levine, there's like 500,000 bands and they all think you're a nerd. And then, and Shirley Manson from Garbage tweeted, what are we then? Cats? And the majority of people are going in on him because they're like, bro, Maroon 5 is not a band. Maroon 5 is Adam Levine.
Yeah, it's you.
It's you. Maroon 5 hasn't been a band in they haven't even identified as a band in forever. Like,
it's your first album.
Yeah,
when you were the breakout star.
Yeah, like Maroon 5 is, it's Adam Levine.
Yeah.
I've interviewed, God, it was so awkward. When you interview Maroon 5, right, they make you sit there and interview everybody from Maroon 5, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm completely fine with because I think that sometimes that dynamic would be interesting to talk about, what life is like for the other guys because they can pretty much lead anonymous lives.
Completely.
When you have this superstar singer. And so I'm happy to have them. But when you sit and you interview Adam Levine and 2 guys from Maroon 5, the 2 guys that are sitting there on stools don't say a word the entire interview.
Mm-hmm. And probably waiting for a question.
you would ask them questions, and it's literally they say nothing, and then Adam Levine just carries on. Like Maroon 5 hasn't been a band in forever. But I will say this. I took a look at, and I know what he's saying about the pop world and the everything else world, right? Like Foo Fighters are huge, and like there's bands out there right now. But I get what he's saying. But I'm going through the Billboard Top 200 album charts right now, and looking at sort of band versus solo artists. And I'm just going through the albums right now. Morgan Wallen, Ariana Grande, Lil Durk, The Weeknd, Dua Lipa, Luke Combs, Lil Baby, The Weeknd, Bad Bunny, Post Malone, Taylor Swift, Megan Thee Stallion, Kevin Gates, Machine Gun Kelly, Doja Cat, Taylor Swift, Harry Styles. The first band you get on that list currently right now on the Billboard 200 album charts, the first band on the list is Queen.
No.
Yeah, Greatest Hits.
A Greatest Hits album?
Yeah. That's the first band listed on this. So, I mean, he's got a point. In the pop world, there's no more band. Like, there's no more Blink 182.
Damn, bands, y'all got to step up.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Some 41, where you at?
Yes.
Simple Plan, where you at?
True. Yeah, but like that kind of thing, right? Like, No Doubt. You know,
Where
all that kind of stuff, right? Like, there's no, I get what he's saying, but I also really love people going in on Adam Levine. I think it's very entertaining.
Garbage, where you at?
Yes.
Roz and Mocha Q&A.
All right, here we go. Another round of Ask Roz and Mocha. Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
Hi, Mocha. Good. How are you?
Good. Roz is here as well, as is Damnit Maury.
Hello.
Hi, Maury. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Good.
What's your question?
So my question is, I wanted to know how you guys handle gift buying for your in-laws. Does your spouse usually handle buying gifts for their side of the family, or do you just buy a gift when you see it and think of someone?
Huh. Now, did you bring this up because, like, you have an opinion? Have you been through this? Are you in a relationship where you have to buy for the in-law? Like, how do you tackle this?
No, so I'm not in the situation myself. I just know growing up, my parents were very set in their rules. My mom would buy for her family and my dad his.
Yeah.
And they would constantly fight, you know, if they spent more for one person. So it was very awkward growing up, and I was just curious what you guys do.
Oh, God. I mean, there's no conversations about, like, money, and if we spend this on, you know, your parents, we got to spend this on my mom. Like, there's nothing like that in my world.
Right.
I will say that Catherine is the one that makes sure all of that is taken care of. She's the one that makes sure that all the gifts are purchased. Because in my both of our sides we do Secret Santa.
Yep.
Right. So it really, really lessens the load on what you actually need to purchase. But even with like birthday stuff and everything else, Catherine's the one that takes care of it, because I will forget and I will get too busy. And she has taken on that responsibility as far as that just goes with other things that need to happen in order to keep our lives on track. Like, you know, I will take care of the majority of the bills on time. She makes sure people get the birthday presents, and Roxy's teacher gets a gift at the end of the school year. Like that kind of stuff, right?
I dislike Secret Santa because then you only get one gift.
Yeah. That's
because you're greedy, son.
That's because you're greedy, yeah. No, I much prefer participating in a Secret Santa. Much prefer it. One, because I have fun with it. But
I would say same thing, like much like your household, Roz. Jenna has like really taken over the remembering of, like, I remember when people's birthdays are and stuff like that. Yeah. But she really, really takes care of having a great idea of what we should get someone. And then she will go out and get that thing or order that thing. She'll be like, hey, I know your dad likes whatever.
Yes.
I saw this great deal, or I saw this pop up online. Why don't we just get it for him? And I'll be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like she handles all of that stuff. But when it comes to buying for the in-laws, Jenna will buy something like from us for her mom, or buy something from us for my parents as well. And what they've done that I've now adopted as well, just joining their family since we got married, we'll put together like kind of like a Christmas list. Like, what are some of the things that you were looking at recently that you may want?
Sure.
And then someone will just pick one of those things off that list and give.
Right.
So you're guaranteed to get something that pretty much you want.
Right.
Or that you've wanted, right?
Yeah, that's why Secret Santa's great. Right?
Yeah.
Because Secret Santa, you go on, you set up an Elfster thing. Catherine does all of this as well. And then everybody gets an invite. And then you go in and you can load up like whatever the max is. So let's say it's like $200 or $250 a person or whatever it is. That's fine. And the kids aren't in Secret Santa. Everybody buys everything for kids,
Sure.
right? Everybody gets stuff for kids. So kids have these big, magical, massive piles of stuff to open because that's
Yeah.
what they like. So everybody buys for the kids. But when it comes to the adults, you go on and then you can link to anything off Amazon. You can link to anything off any other website, and it puts it all in one place.
Mm-hmm.
And you can write notes and you can do all of these things. And that's where I mess with people because I always just ask for ridiculous things from Secret Santa because it's fun for me.
Yeah.
But
Hawaiian shirt, extra small.
Exactly. But in that, it's exactly like what you were just saying, which is, are there any things that you've been looking at? And then what winds up happening is your Secret Santa then has access to your list, and you can sit there and do the math, and maybe 5 of those things make up the $250 limit. And realistically, they can just go boom, boom, boom on 3 of them, and then maybe put one personal thing in there as well.
Yeah.
Right. And so you always sort of get like the cool stuff that you wanted, right?
Yeah.
Maureen?
So for us, Matthew buys all the stuff for his side, but we both buy stuff for my side.
Right.
And then do you ever discuss or not argue? Do you ever discuss and or argue about price? Like what you're
Not
spending on
price,
your
but-
family, what you're spending on his?
He over gifts. Like I always say, like, look, for my brothers, they're of the age where just get them a gift card for Foot Locker or something, and they'll love that. They'll absolutely love that. Because I always ask them what they want. That's what they want. He's like, you got to throw in like a shirt or something else with it, because who wants to open just a gift card? I'm like, but the gift card's for $50. That's a lot. Why do you also need a shirt?
I don't know. Spirit of the season, maybe?
Yeah.
No, but I don't. Then go buy a shirt.
To be like a cool older brother
Yeah.
who gives you
Cool.
more than a $50 gift
Like
card.
my bro gave me a t-shirt, a kick-ass t-shirt, and a gift card.
Yeah. I don't think
I
I've
don't know.
ever given my brother something, whether it's for his birthday or for Christmas, that
What?
was $50.
Oh, I thought you meant like,
You give him
just
more?
give him something
Yeah.
ever.
I just assumed $50 is fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I never look at it in terms of stuff like that, though.
Well, 'cause I always message
and I'm,
them,
and
I'm
I'm
like, what do
talking
you guys
even when
want?
I had like regular jobs and
Yeah.
everything else, right?
No, but I always message Daniel and Con, like, what do you guys want?
Yeah.
And both, like the last couple of years, I've always said
Yeah.
a gift card to Foot Locker. I'm
Right.
like,
You should
But
think
what do
about
they
you should think
like,
about throwing in
though?
like a shirt or something with that gift card.
a gift card's enough.
No, but like what stuff are they into? Like what do they like? Why don't you lean more towards their interests?
Because like but I asked, what do you want? Like, do
No,
you
no,
want
no. But like what do they like? What
the
are some
video
things
games,
that they
video games, skateboarding,
Yeah.
girls, and clothing. Like
Right.
hoodies and stuff like that from
Right.
like
but you should have
Champion
knowledge.
brand
You
or
should have knowledge of your brothers well enough that you should be able to pick them up at least a little something that you know will be a hit just based on your knowledge and relationship with them.
I have no knowledge.
Okay.
No, but I don't hang out enough with them to have
No,
knowledge.
I know, I guess.
Well, whose fault is that?
You know what I should do? Because
Just
I'm Instagram friends with Daniel's girlfriend. I should just start asking her.
Are you not Instagram friends with Daniel?
No, I am.
Oh, okay.
But like, I should message Emily and say, you know, what would Daniel want?
I would find that kind of weird.
Oh God, don't do that. That's super weird, man.
Yeah, like how old is she?
She doesn't want.
She's like 16 and
I know.
loves this
Oh
show.
my
I know, but she doesn't want messages from you though.
Yeah.
No, but just to say, what do you think Daniel would want for Christmas?
No, because no, don't bother.
You shouldn't
It's
be
too
following
weird.
a 16-year-old girl on Instagram, man. That's weird. Super weird. Hope that answered your question, Tiffany.
Yeah, can you ask me who my favorite is?
Of course,
No.
Tiffany. Before we let you go, between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
It's, drumroll please, it's Roz.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Roz.
Oh, that's it, huh?
Yeah,
I
was
love
gonna
it.
give you. I was gonna give a reason, but I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
No,
so.
don't. You don't need to. You don't
Please
need
give
to
a reason. I
No,
feel like
that's
this is
fine.
a troll job. What's the
No,
reason?
I know.
Does he remind you of your dad or your uncle or your grandpa?
Yeah, he does remind me of my dad sometimes. I feel like the advice that he gives is just very similar to what he would say. And like Roz, I lost my dad a couple years ago, and just since then, I've just found that, you know, the way you have dealt with grief and how you talk about it, I just found that very relatable. So yeah, no, it's just been so great.
When did you lose your pops?
2019.
2019.
Oh, sorry to hear that. And now I feel bad for laughing.
Nah, that's fine.
No, that's okay.
And how old were you?
I was 22.
22. That's too young, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had been living abroad for a year.
Yeah.
And didn't know he was sick.
Yeah.
And then I came back, and I was only with him for 3 days.
Right.
And then he passed. Yeah.
Aw.
So it was unexpected, but
And how is your mom still around?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's doing
how's she
okay.
doing? Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing okay.
You have any siblings?
Yeah, I have a 18-year-old brother.
Uh-huh.
And he's been okay too. He got a little cat, which has been such a great little outlet for him to, process his emotions and just deal. So
Yeah, it's tough. It's real hard when you're young, when you're in your 20s, because you have so much that that you're going to do. And so much of that is just wanting to, you will always have that thing where you want to make them proud, right?
Yeah.
And just not having that outlet to have somebody to make proud is really stifling. And it'll mess with your confidence. It'll mess with your sort of willingness to push yourself forward, because then it becomes you are doing things for yourself, right? And you don't, you're going to find that you need that encouragement, and you need that drive of just somebody to say, oh my God, I'm so proud of you, or you did good, kid. And you'll get that from your mom, and you're going to get that from your friends and everything else. But there's just something when that thing is missing when you're in your 20s and you're the sort of most driven you have. You have to watch out that it doesn't hold you back from making decisions, and you can't let it hold you back, because you're about to make, at this point in your life, some really, really incredible decisions, both with work and with life and all of that stuff. And there's people that will always be proud of you, right? And you just got to look for them.
Oh my gosh, see, more great advice.
Right.
Wow.
And that was sounded very fatherly.
Right?
Yeah.
That was real nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tiffany. All the best to you.
Thank
Love you
so
lots.
much. Yeah, you too. Bye.
Okay, love.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Denzel says here, do you guys remember the first thing you bought with your first paycheck or your second paycheck if you saved that first one? Now, on the last podcast, we were asked about first jobs. And then you were saying that you worked at the flour mill.
Yeah.
Underage, which was probably illegal.
It was.
Do you remember your first paycheck?
Yeah.
What you did with it?
So first paycheck. I'm gonna say, like, what is the thing that you saved up for? Like, I'm not gonna count, buying a ticket to a movie.
Yeah.
Or going, like anything like that, right? Like
No.
Like it wasn't. I don't think it was a concert ticket. I don't think it was anything like that. I think it was probably like the first thing that I actually saved up money for when I was like 14 years old from like my job was I went in and I put a down payment on an amplifier, guitar amplifier that I wanted at a music store that was 2 towns over. And so that was probably it. And I think it was probably like, maybe I went in and dropped like $200 on it and sort of put it on layaway and and then waited for the end of the summer to when I could afford it. So I think that was my first sort of big purchase, was putting money towards like a $450 amp or whatever it was, because that's the only reason why I wanted a job, was because I wanted this amp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maury?
My first big purchase, like that I saved for, was a fish tank. But my very first purchase was my first paycheck, because I worked at Yorkdale Mall in Toronto.
Yeah.
I remember I walked to Hot Topic and I bought like some Ren and Stimpy shirts and stuff like that with my first paycheck. Do you remember Hot Topic?
Hot Topic?
Yeah, the store's still around.
It's still around.
Yeah.
I didn't know that when did Hot Topic arrive in Canada?
It had to have been, I guess, in the 90s.
Are you sure it was a Hot Topic? It wasn't something else?
I'm pretty sure it was Hot Topic.
Huh.
Hold on here. I don't know about that.
I mean, it's not a new store, but it's also not like an old store.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'll find that later. So you bought Ren and Stimpy stuff from Hot Topic?
Yeah, because they had the store in the mall with all the cool shirts from T-shirts and bobbleheads and
from TV shows and stuff,
and belt buckles.
I bet he still has that shirt. Do you have him?
It's down in the cage.
Yeah. See, I knew it. What did I?
Hold on here. Let me just pause for 1 second. Let me read you this story.
Okay.
So I was just curious as to when Hot Topic expanded into Canada. U.S. retailer Hot Topic will expand into Canada with 3 locations. They're already in the United States and Puerto Rico, and of course online. Maury, this article is from 2010.
So then what was the store before Hot Topic that had all that stuff that I went to?
I don't know.
And that was in the 80s that you're talking about.
No, 90, like 95.
Or 90s, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did
Hot
not.
Topic
You
is-
decidedly did not go to Hot Topic.
Okay, I have to.
another store.
While Mocha's answering, I have to figure out what the other store was that was exactly like Hot Topic in the Yorkdale Mall.
Like I only know like old mall stores, okay? Because like, and I don't mean specific like unique stores to a unique mall. I just mean mall stores where no matter what mall you went in, there were certain stores that were always going to be in the mall, right?
You knew you were always going to see like a Bay. You were always going to see Radio Shack. You were always going to see like Roots.
Sunrise.
You were always going to see an HMV and or Sunrise.
So okay, hold on here. You and I grew up in different parts of the world. I'm talking all malls. Like I mean like Guelph and Toronto.
Oh,
and,
okay.
So all malls had a Sunrise Records.
Yes.
Not all malls had an HMV.
True.
All malls had a Randy River.
True.
All malls had a
Le Chateau?
No, don't you remember? Was there?
Benetton?
Yeah, yeah, Le Chateau. Yeah, 100% Le Chateau.
What about Benetton?
No. My mall did not have Benetton.
No?
My mall had Roots and Cotton Ginny. Those two stores. Where
Did
it was
your
like,
mall have what is it the moms love back in the day? Reitmans?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It had Reitmans, and then I think Reitmans became a Deschanel. Right. That was another hot store for ladies. Reitman's 100%. And then what was the store? Was it called the It Store?
Yeah.
Where you went in and you could buy all those weird things?
Yes.
Right? You remember the It Store?
Yeah. What is that? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. The It Store was another mall.
Maybe that's the store, Maury. That's the one. Maybe it
What?
was the It Store.
That's the one.
What, the It Store?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had a location right by my theater at Yorkdale.
Yeah, the It Store, you could also go, that's where
that.
you could go in and buy like a Rubik's Cube and a 3D puzzle.
This is what I'm
right?
talking about. And shirts and stuff.
Yeah. The It Store sort of went away.
Yes, that's the logo right there.
Look,
That's
here's the
one.
logo. You remember the logo?
Yeah, the It Store.
That's what I meant, not Hot Topic. The It Store.
Yeah, It Store. That place was legendary. I used to love, that was the greatest place to get. I know we were just talking about gifts and stuff, but It Store was the greatest place to buy somebody just like a little weird tchotchke.
Like a Ren and Stimpy shirt.
Yeah, or a Ren and Stimpy shirt.
What did I buy with my first paycheck? I used to spend every single one of my paychecks from the Bay on vinyl because I would just collect vinyl.
Really?
And new vinyl would get dropped like every Friday. Yeah. So every other Friday, I would go out and just spend literally my entire paycheck.
Wow.
All on just vinyl.
Right.
But the one thing, I guess, big ticket item that I use a lot of my paychecks I would save up for. I remember I stopped buying vinyl for like a couple of weeks because I was taking all my money and saving it for a set of turntables that were like $1,200. They were used from this record store that wasn't too far from me. And the guy was like selling them. The owner of the shop was selling them. And he was like, I'll hang on to these. And I said, I need like a few weeks. I got to save up. I'm working at the Bay. I'm going to save every single penny. And if you hang on to these turntables for me, because they're in great condition.
Yeah. Do you think you spent more on vinyl than I did on latex?
First of all, what? Second of all, probably. What do you mean latex?
Never mind. It was a condom joke. Moving on.
I have.
Oh,
I was thinking pants.
You know what? So was I.
You were thinking
I was
pants?
Like,
Yeah.
So was I.
No.
Yeah, I was like, why are you buying latex pants?
All right, next question.
Hold on, no, I'm gonna add in one more. So I also remember while I worked at the theater, the other thing I saved up and bought was out of a guy's trunk. I bought a pager.
What?
Like, do you remember pagers?
Of course we remember. No,
no
Maury, we don't
pagers,
remember
man. I'm
pagers.
saying what
We're
to the
both
friggin'
older
story.
than you. Like, weirdo.
No, but the guy was selling pagers out of his trunk.
Uh-huh.
And so
How
I
much
got
did you
one of
pay?
those. Oh God, what was it? Like $50 or something back then with the
I
plan?
don't know. I wasn't there. You tell me.
And I spent $300 once back then on this guy would build illegal radio station transmitters.
Right.
So I bought one and attached the antenna on the roof of my Aunt Susie's house and had my own radio station for 3 blocks.
How old are you?
16.
You climbed up on the roof of a house at 16?
No. Her husband at the time, Gary, did and put an antenna on the roof, and I had my own radio station.
And so you could broadcast where?
Like around the block.
Like in a 3 block
Yeah.
radius. Who would
Yeah.
listen to you?
She would go in the car and drive around, and I'd dedicate a song to her.
And so how would you play music and stuff? Did you have like a whole setup
Yeah,
with
you
like
can
tape
set up a
decks
CD.
and everything
Like
else?
there was an input in the back of the transmitter. In the basement, and you could plug CD player to it, microphone, like anything you wanted.
Really?
Yeah.
Aunt Susie would leave the house, drive around the block just to listen to you on the radio?
Yes.
That's
Oh,
sweet.
man, that's real nice.
That's
Yeah.
sweet. What songs would you play?
I always dedicated to her the song White Town.
White Town?
The band White Town, and the song was Your Woman. Do you remember that song?
No.
Because it was the big song back then.
Honestly, with your references, honestly, with your references, I sometimes feel that you might be a time traveler. Because every now and then I think that you slip up, right? Where you bring up a reference from like the Roaring '20s about something like that you should have no knowledge about.
Like you should
right?
be 90 right now.
Yes,
the song was from the
your
90s.
like your relationship with alcohol. I'm fairly certain that not only did you live through Prohibition, but you were probably one of the architects of it. You know what I mean? Like I think every now and then you slip up.
Yeah,
I really do. Yeah, I really do.
It was a huge song from '97.
And the only reason I think you're stuck in this time for so long is one, either you can't get out or you're so in love with me you don't want to leave.
I'm going to go with that.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to go with that.
Kara says, tell us something you did when you were drunk that you are super embarrassed or ashamed of, or maybe it's just really funny.
Oh, very embarrassed.
Go.
It was a work Christmas party when I worked at a radio station, and I had to work that night, and I stumbled across the street and went upstairs and fell through a glass coffee table, shattered it everywhere, was bleeding on my face. The host that I was working for at the time had to call my dad to come and get me. And then the next day, which was very embarrassing, and then the next day was the first time that I was meeting my now current mom, Donna.
Donna?
Why didn't you just say the day before you were to meet your stepmother, Donna?
My current mom. Okay.
And I was like throwing up all the whole way to the restaurant. My dad would have to pull over, and I'd have to get out and throw up because I was so hungover.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, that's not fun. Throwing up is never
So to
good.
this day, I cannot have vodka and orange juice.
Really? Vodka orange juice is so refreshing, though.
Yeah, no, because it always reminds me of that time.
Really?
So you were throwing up where, like, did you guys go to a restaurant or you
went to a
were-
restaurant, and
Oh,
the
okay.
whole way there in the car, my dad would pull over, and Donna was in the passenger seat, and I kept having to throw up on the side. This is the first time I was meeting her.
Oh, God.
Oh, and then we got home, and punishment, my dad made me carry bricks up the hill that our house was on.
For what?
Again, time traveler, right?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where was your house on the hill that you had to carry bricks up to?
We didn't have one. We were building it
You
at
know
the
what I
time.
mean? Like, the house was on top of a hill, and my dad was building a patio in the back out of like a brick patio.
Okay.
So the bricks arrived, and I had to carry like 1 by 1 or 2 by 2 up the hill.
Okay.
And bring them into the backyard.
Do we call those things now pyramids or no? Like, is that what this was?
Yeah, we had this,
Right?
this rope and pulley system.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking here?
Oh, you know what? I can't pinpoint anything specific. I've had a lot of dumb drunk moments.
Yeah.
Like there's too many. Like
Drunk
I remember
Mocha's awesome.
I remember, I don't know, like Jen and I went to a St. Patrick's Day thing at a bar. I got wasted.
Right.
In the afternoon, and we took a cab home, and it was still daylight.
Oh.
And like 2 seconds into getting into the cab and driving, I had to tell the guy to stop. I was going to throw up. And no cab driver wants you to throw up in their car. And I ran out and I threw up. I'm pretty sure the place was closed at the time, but a jewelry store, like on a main street.
Oof. Throwing up sucks.
Yeah. Do you have any
Throwing
embarrassing
up is
or
awful.
any memorable
I mean,
drunk
like,
stories?
I've never really like
Didn't
him.
you wake up somewhere
Oh, Maury,
naked?
I have woken up in like some wild places. I woke up. I mean, I wasn't embarrassed by it at all. Like by no means, I wasn't embarrassed by it. But I woke up in Niagara Falls one morning.
And you don't know how you got there?
No idea.
I thought you woke up like on someone's couch
No.
or something.
Oh, Maury, like how many times have I woken up on somebody's couch? But I woke up in Niagara Falls. I remember getting in the car, right, with people, and I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to go party or something like that. But I guess at some point somebody had said, "Let's go to the casino," right? And so we drove to Niagara Falls, never made it in the casino, and just sat in a parking garage, drinking in Niagara Falls. And when I woke up in the car, I knew whose car it was. It was my buddy's car. But when I woke up in the car, there was a person sleeping next to me in the car who I didn't know.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Like my buddy was gone and the other person, there's 4 of us. So the 3 people I was with were gone. And there was a new person in the car that they had met, that we had met while we were there. And they were sleeping beside me in the car.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But not embarrassing. Like I wasn't embarrassed by that. I had a hell of a night.
Part of the night.
Yeah. I had a hell of a night.
Do you miss those times?
No. No. I used to, I remember when I went to see Napoleon Dynamite with a friend of mine. And was I embarrassed? No, I don't think I was that
Wait, that you
embarrassed.
saw the movie?
No, that we brought in 8 cans of Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Yeah, Mike's.
And there was only at the time, maybe 12, 15 people in the theater. And the whole time we're watching this movie, we're just cracking cans of Mike's Hard. And this, you have to understand, this is back before there was no alcohol allowed in theaters, right? Like even, they would go through your bag to make sure you didn't have outside food and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And so we got trashed watching
Napoleon Dynamite?
And cans hitting the floor and all this
Y'all
stuff,
were doing that on
right?
purpose too.
Oh, yes. But no, I've never really done I'm sure I've done things that would embarrass others.
You weren't drunk in front of your dad, and was that embarrassing?
Yeah, no. It was heartbreaking because I felt terrible, right? But it wasn't embarrassing. I'm trying to think what would be what I should be embarrassed about. Because I never did anything dumb while I was drunk. I didn't make any sort of huge mistakes, or I've never spent money on I've never lost a bunch of money, or I've never, made out with I made out with a lot of people that I would never have made out with sober. But I don't regret it, right? It was all fine and fun. But I just stopped getting drunk years and years and years ago. I drink, but the actual getting drunk, I don't even know the last time I would say that I was even drunk. I have no clue. Have no clue when the last time I was drunk was.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that was super embarrassing or anything else funny. It was just all just either passing out or throwing up stories.
Yeah.
Really.
The last time I threw up, I was in a cab. Last time I threw up from drinking, I was in a cab, and I didn't want to throw up in the back of the cab. So I lifted my T-shirt above my face.
Oh, no.
And threw up inside my T-shirt.
But doesn't it come out the bottom?
No, because I was sitting and then I held it.
Oh, no. And then what happened when you got out of the cab?
I held my shirt. I was pushing my shirt really, really tight against all the throw up to try and soak it in. To try and soak it out.
So
that stinks.
That's so gross.
Yeah. That was
Was your destination at that time?
I was going home. I was going home.
Okay, you weren't going to kick up with somebody else.
Yeah, I was going home. But I don't get embarrassed and stuff.
gross.
I used to stop. My routine was we would go drink, and then I would stop every night at a gas station.
Yeah.
And I would buy 3 gas station cheeseburgers.
Oh, my God.
And don't they come in a 2-pack?
No, you could know this. It was called the big something. It was a single, it was the big one.
Oh, because you can get a 2-pack.
The 2-pack, and I would grab 3 of them, and I would bring them home and then stack them in the microwave and cook all 3 of them at once. And I would finish every night with 3 gas station cheeseburgers.
Yeah, but Mocha, at the time, it's glorious.
Yeah, no, of course,
God,
all fast
so
food,
good.
right?
Yeah.
When you're drunk.
Yeah.
Oh. Mark says here, what was your favorite thing about the place you grew up?
Ooh, the bagels.
Is your favorite thing?
Yeah, Greif's Bagels at Bathurst. And
let me Google that. I
Wilson.
bet you they closed in 1918.
No. The interesting thing about Greif's is they only take cash.
How do you spell Greif's?
G-R-Y.
Are you sure it's not Griff's?
No, Greif's. Greif's Bagels at Bathurst and Ledbury.
So that is, it's still there. Okay. You're lucky, Maureen.
But I grew up in I didn't move much out of that area. We moved apartments, but it was always in the same vicinity.
The majority of my life, is where my parents are still at now, 30 plus years.
Do they live in the same house you grew up in?
Yeah.
They do?
No way. I, for some reason, thought they moved.
From the time we moved there when I was in grade 6.
Okay, yeah. So that's the house you grew up in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite thing would be that my house was kind of like the spot where everybody always came to.
Yeah, that's great.
Right? Like my parents were so cool with it. Like all my friends would still, even to this day, all my friends still gather at my parents' house,
That's
whether
awesome.
it's summertime or Christmas or any, even like Easter, stuff like that. My friends will go and visit my parents when I'm not around.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right,
that's
they'll go
great.
hang out because all my friends grew up like basically in that house.
Yeah.
Like our house, if there's one thing I would say that I love about growing up in that house is that it was the house.
Yeah.
That everybody came to.
Yeah.
All the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. My house was like that when I was younger. Not so much now because we don't live in the town that I grew up in. But my house was very much like that through high school. I would come home and a friend of mine would be sitting on the couch with my dad watching TV.
Yeah.
Right? And I was
Did that piss you off?
No, I didn't care. It didn't bother me at all. God, like, what do I like most about? I don't know. I mean, I grew up in a really small town, so I had a very different experience than you two guys. But I would say the thing that we had at that time, like when we're talking like mid 80s, like when I was like 10 and 11, so 84, 85, those years, those were wild years to be a 10, 11, 12-year-old because you were just released into the world by your parents with no rules. And if you managed to get friends who also had those same kinds of parents, like it was like the Goonies. Like the stuff you could get up to was really quite incredible. And then you would somehow make it home, before the streetlights came on, and your parents never questioned anything as far as what you were doing or where you were. And so I guess that there was a freedom, but I think it might not have been so much about the town, but it was about the time. And so growing up in a small town in that time in the mid 80s it was incredible.
I like that my dad, when one of the places we were living at, he used to always hang out by the garages in the back, drinking beer with the other tenants.
Like Boomhauer?
King of the Hill? King of the Hill style?
Like there was an electrician and his son. Their company was called Moffat and Sons. I'll never
Yeah.
forget that. And they used to just all stand in the garage drinking beer.
Did
And
you
I
used to
love
go?
that.
Did you used to go to that bagel place more when they first opened?
When did they? Well, no, like the 50s.
Yeah. Just curious.
It's like I was there to cut the ribbon.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm looking. I know. I'm gonna go through all the old black and white pictures. I guarantee you, I'm gonna find you, Maury. I guarantee it. I'm gonna find you.
Raphael says here, what do you do first when making pizza and nachos? Do you put cheese first, then the toppings, or toppings and then cheese? This has been a debate in my house.
Cheese is last, always, isn't it?
I would say when it comes to like pizza, we do sauce, cheese, rest of the toppings, a little bit more cheese.
See, when I buy the how-to pizza card, it says the sauce. Then you're putting the other stuff like the basil and the garlic and the olive oil, and then the cheese is last.
It depends on
because it locks everything in.
Okay, so for me, it depends on what we're talking when we say toppings.
Yeah.
So for me, let's just go straight pepperoni, right? It goes crust, sauce, cheese, pep, and then you can maybe grate some fresh parm on top of that because you want the pepperoni to brown and bubble.
Yeah.
Right? If the pepperoni is under the cheese, it's not going to brown.
It'll get moist.
It's just going to
No, it'll be too soft
it's
of
just
pepperoni.
soft. Yeah. So pepperoni has
Truth.
to go on top of that.
See, I was talking about a margarita pizza.
Yeah, so margarita pizza goes sauce, cheese, basil, olive oil.
Oh, I thought it was sauce, basil, olive oil, then cheese.
I mean, listen, I don't think it really matters.
It depends on what kind of cheese you're using too, right? Because they have
Yes.
the buffalo mozzarella that are either like shape of an oval or a straight up circle that you just place it every couple of spaces on the pizza. Now, when you're talking about nachos, there's so many different ways.
Okay, let's say you're doing chicken nachos, and you're also putting on
jalapenos.
We're also putting on jalapeno. We're also putting on jalapenos. So chicken,
Black
jalapenos.
beans?
No, chicken, jalapenos, and let's just say
green onion.
Green onion.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
So I would layer the cheese. I wouldn't take like all the cheese and place it at one time in any part of the nachos. I would layer it almost like a lasagna.
Now, are you using shredded cheese or using cheese sauce?
No, shredded
cheese.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would do a little bit of nachos, a little bit of fiexins, cheese. Then more nachos on top, Fiexins, cheese. More nachos, Fiexins, cheese.
Interesting. Interesting that you say that because I was with you for a second and then you lost me, but I'm thinking maybe I have it wrong now. So the way that I do nachos is I love when the cheese that was on the pan, it becomes crusty, right? That, that little part. So I take my pan and I put parchment paper on the pan, right?
Yeah.
Parchment paper. Then I take a handful of shredded cheese and I lay that down first.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
That's your foundation.
I lay that down first, spread it out nice and thin. Then I do thin layer of chips.
Yeah.
Then I do layer of cheese, layer of chips, layer of cheese, layer of chips. Then I will put a little bit of cheese. Then I do Fiexins. Then I do all the chicken, all the jalapenos, and all the green onion, and then I do a little bit of cheese on top of that. And then when I cook it low, on a low temperature, for longer than I normally would. And then what happens is all that stuff that was on the bottom becomes one big crunchy cheese chip, right? So as you're eating the actual nachos, right, that there's a big giant cheese chip under it that you snap off and you can just eat those pieces of cheese.
But then you have all your Fiexins like close to the top.
Yeah,
so
because
by the
I
time
grab
you
from the
finish-
bottom. No,
Oh,
I
you go
grab
from the bottom.
grab
Okay,
from
gotcha.
That's my thing is that I grab from the bottom.
But
Okay.
with that much cheese, are you not worried that it's super hard to separate?
No, because when you cook it at a low, you use a super low moisture cheese, right?
Yeah.
That's why the pre-grated stuff is great because you can get very, very low moisture cheeses in those bags, and then your chips don't get wet, right? So you just cook it to make sure it's all melted. And realistically, to melt all that cheese in between all them layers takes a long time.
Yeah.
Like it takes if you're cooking it at like say 225 or even 240, it takes a really, really long time to melt all that cheese. But once all that cheese is melted and they just start pulling apart, like, oh my God.
And the reason I asked you about shredded and the liquid cheese is because at a restaurant once I had liquid cheese on my nachos.
Some
and I thought it
places.
was
Yeah,
weird.
some places.
Some
No, but like
places
when you
do
go
that.
to
like the
when
movie
you go to
theater
the
cheese, like
movie
that's-
theater, yeah.
But they
yeah.
put that on the nachos with the chicken and all
With
that
the- yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
that was weird or cheap. They're cheapening me.
Well, it's a very Tex-Mex thing, right?
Oh, okay.
Like there's a lot of places in America where if you go to America and you order like cheese nachos, that's what you get.
It's a different taste.
You get melted cheese on. I always have a jar of that Tostitos cheese in the fridge.
So good.
Always.
Yeah.
I always
a little
have a
bit
jar on
spicy,
hand.
So
Do you
runny.
dunk on anything else in there, or is it only
Fries.
for chip? Oh, wow, I've never
Yeah.
done that.
Fries, and I will sometimes make. I made the other day. I had a steak in the freezer the other day. And I didn't have time to defrost the steak, and I was starving. And I had a bun, like a bougie sort of hot dog bun, like a longer kind of bun. And I took the steak, right? And I had been like trying to figure out the best way to sort of make like a version of like a Philly cheesesteak kind of thing over the last little while. But I had a piece of frozen steak in the fridge, and what I did was
Like pre-cooked?
No, it was just raw, and I cut the steak frozen with a super sharp knife, and I cut the steak into paper thin slices.
Okay.
Super, super paper thin slices.
Easier to do when it's frozen too.
Easier to do when it's frozen. And I had like a whole giant like pile of them, and I waited for them to defrost, and then I put a pan on, blazing hot pan, and threw these things in there and browned them up, which took all of 40 seconds. And then I threw that in a bun, and then and then I took the Tostitos cheese and I melted it on top of that.
Oh, that
and
sounds
it was
amazing.
it
Did you
was
fall asleep
it was
right
really,
after?
right after I fell asleep. Like right after.
At Kiss925 is where you will find Ask Roz Mocha.
Oh.
That's where we get the questions from. So feel free to ask, and we'll answer on future episodes.
Let's end on this super quick. What are all of our shoe sizes from Robin?
None of your business, Robin.
Thanks for listening to the podcast, Robin.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.